Welcome, dear students, teachers, and principals. I'm sure all of you are ready. So I will read the topic again. Social media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century. I shall also take you through the rules. Participants should avoid reading from previously prepared script, any paper or aid. Each region can present only 2 participants each in each category, one to speak for the motion and the other against the motion. Each speaker will get 4 minutes to speak. At the end of the 4th minute, a warning bell will be rung. The final bell will be rung at the end of the 4th minute. Timing will start as soon as the participants starts speaking. Speaking for less than 3 minutes and more than 4 minutes will entail a deduction of 5 marks by each judge. All participants must be in formal wear without identification marks. The speakers will address the chair only. Unparliamentary language, personal comments, or observations on any religion, caste, community, political party, or individual are not allowed. The matter should be limited to the topic only. Such violations may lead to disqualification. Marks awarded by individual judges will be added up for each speaker and then for each team. A lively rebuttal, refutation, for approximately 2 minutes will follow each speech, with interjections from the participants. The judges will choose only one participant for the rebuttal question. Judgment criteria. Speakers will be adjudged on the following criteria. Content, 20 marks. Delivery, which entails style, fluency, clarity, poise, 20 marks. Rebuttal, 5. Overall impact, 5. Total, 50 marks. Note, participants are requested to rename themselves in the following manner. Code, full name. Stopwatch will be visible on screen, so you may keep track of time. So, may we please start? All the best to all the participants. Over to Jofi ma'am and Manisha ma'am to coordinate. We request all the speakers, the ones who are going to deliver their speech, to please keep their videos on. You may sit or stand, however you are comfortable. The other speakers may please keep their videos off.
Very good morning to all the participant speakers. Kindly take a note of the rebuttal rules once more. Only one rebuttal question will be allowed. And the question has to be kept very short and crisp. No sub-questions and counter-questions will be allowed. I repeat, no sub-questions and counter-questions will be allowed. On that note, I would like to call upon our first speaker for the day, Bhuvana Santosh, with the code F1. Judges, kindly take a note of the code F1, Bhuvana Santosh. Over to you, Bhuvana.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, Bhuvana, please go ahead. You're audible.
Okay. Social media is the ultimate equalizer. It gives a voice and a platform to anyone willing to engage. The internet has changed the ways of business, education, government, and healthcare facilities. It has even changed the ways in which we engage with our loved ones. In just a finger, click of a finger, we get engaged with several medias like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. It has even enhanced our life by brand building, advertising, and even many other things. It has reached the remote areas. The people in the remote areas have started advertising their products and their and started their and business and started their business online. The digital work has even saved the environment by making soft copies and just saving the environment and making and saving tons of papers. It is a tool to interact with one another. Even nowadays, the grandparents who felt disconnected and alone are now connected with their family members through video calls and many other things. It has the main advantage of social media is that it has no geographical boundaries. Online markets are in a full fledged. It helps to keep with a current global trends. The many other advantages of social media may be pointed like it mainly helps in advertising. It even helps in the content creating. Even the information, even we can use internet to get information and use it for our projects. It is how we analyze the information and put it in a use. It is not the internet who is just degrading your life. It is you, how you use it. It has a wide platform. It gives the information of whatever you want in just a click. The social media helps to engage, enlighten, and encourage yourself. The social media is a community effort. It has helped you to connect with various areas of the world. It has even allowed the degree people and other many trainers to get connected with the online companies, to the dream companies. And now I would like to conclude that social media has never disgraced you. It is how you grace it. Never grace the golden opportunity in your hand. The social media in your hands will never replace teachers. But the social medias in your hand are great teachers. Therefore, never misuse social media, and it has even improved the life of the 21st century. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Bhuvana. Now the debate is open for rebuttal. I request the participants to raise their hands and the judges may pick up the participants accordingly.
Yes, Shaila Patel, would you like to go ahead and ask your question? Shaila Patel.
Yes, ma'am. My dear friend, you said that the social media can never replace our teachers. How is it for the topic?
The social media can never replace the teachers. Like it can never replace our great teachers, but social media in your hands are great teachers. Like in just a click of button, you get involved with the various information that you want. Maybe in the school, like teachers, you have to wait for the teachers for the class and all. But when you want to get access to the information, you just have to click a button and you get then access to the information.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhuvana. Thank you, Shaila. Over to the next participant.
Thank you, Sophie ma'am. Good morning, esteemed judges and all my dear participants.
Your time starts now.
A person who spends hours and hours staring into their computer screen becomes a mouse potato. Once a person starts using social media, they fall into an abyss of insecurity, and laziness. Is this really the quality of life we strive for? Is this really the way we want to live our lives? Social media has become such an aspect of our life, such that most of our screen time is spent on social media, which bears no rewards whatsoever. It incurs laziness among children. There is no solid knowledge gained from social media, which only partakes us superficial knowledge.
I
It saturates the logic and opinion of an individual mind and poisons the opinion by by the means of false news and false marketing. The minds of young people can easily be manipulated on the social media. Having everything on the tip of finger on our fingertips creates an unrealistic mindset in children that success can be achieved through minimal effort. Social media has become a platform which is perfectly compatible with the spread of false news and false headlines. A person can easily manipulate a headline and pull the string of human emotions to make the headline go viral. Privacy has been killed by the internet. Holds a smoking gun which killed privacy. Once a photo is uploaded to social media, it remains forever in the archives of the internet. All human beings have three lives: personal, private, and secret. But due to the intrusion of social media in our daily lives, it appears that all three lives have merged into one, which is a public life. Some people just want, some people go through phases in their lives where they just want to have solitude, which the social media prevents them from having. In the end, I would like to conclude by saying that every thing with positive prospects has its negative aspects, and internet is no exception. Thank you.
Thank you, Shashwat. Now we move ahead to the next participant, F2, Haven Shah.
I'm the rebuttal.
We would need to have the rebuttal. For
Yeah,
this
we
participant,
need to
right?
have the rebuttal. Yes. Rebuttal first.
Yeah.
Janki ma'am, would you like to identify the participant?
Can Vedant Bafna ask a question?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you said that once a photo is uploaded in social media, it stays there forever and it cannot be deleted. But that is not so.
The A photo once uploaded to social media can be deleted from the account, but companies hold an archive of the photos and videos that that is contain an archive that contains all the photos and videos that have uploaded to the social media. So there is no one who can repost a video, or someone who can upload videos that break the rules and regulations of the social media.
Thank you, Shashwat. Now let's move ahead to the next participant. The next participant is F2, Haven Shah. Haven Shah.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Social media is a computer-based technology that facilitates the sharing of ideas, thoughts, and information through the building of virtual networks and communities. Users engage with social media via computer, tablet, or smartphone via web-based store software or applications. Social media not only connects teens to the information and friends, but also connects them to opportunities for social support from their friends, peers, and broader social networks. Among teens, 68% have received support on social media during challenges or tough times. Social media has helped many businesses grow and promote itself and has helped people find a better way to connect and communicate with one another. Social media has helped developing countries be more visible to the rest of the world on platforms such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. They all provide a voice and insight into what's happening. The awareness brings developed countries to offer humanitarian aid, funding, and medical support. Social media provides immense potential for businesses because consumers habitually log on it daily and are exposed to companies. During the COVID outbreak, many social media friends have shared their experiences on social distancing and taking care of the virus on social media accounts. This indicates that social media supports in a pandemic is useful. Keeping and sharing people experience the same feelings as others with the disasters. Thank you.
The session is open for rebuttal. Participants may raise their hands.
Yes, Meg, would you like to go ahead with your question?
Yes, ma'am. You said that social media helps us in communicating with our friends during this pandemic. But during this pandemic, there was a lot of misinformation spread, and actually, doesn't it overshadow the benefits of social media during this pandemic?
But during this pandemic, many useful informations are also shared through social media about the COVID-19 uh, preventions and etc.
Thank you.
Thank you, Haven.
Good morning, esteemed judges and all my dear participants. Moving on with the debate, may I invite our fourth participant, A2 Shlok Parik, who will be speaking against the motion. Shlok Parik, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, your time starts
All the best, Shlok.
All the best.
Good morning, everyone. The topic states that the social media has improved the way of life in 21st century. But were not the 20th century or 19th century people living a better life? Improvement is not only advancement or being active on social media like an owl at night. Improvement means a better quality of something, which we are not having in any case as we compare to our ancestors. Psychological behavior or the dependence on social media platforms can result in significant impairment in the individual function in various life domains. Over a prolonged period, a fear of missing out, which is also known as FOMO in the common language, is out, and social anxiety stemming on the belief of teenagers that might have fun while person is might have fun to a person in whom anxiety is not present. A new study in University of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania has found that teens who use social media heavily are 3 times likely to feel isolated. This can cause a teen to feel even more alone. Now we see teenage is an age where a person has a lot of thinking. The person can suffer from anxiety if not guided in a proper way. And the use of social media here gives a person more anxiety and more depression if used in a heavy way. if used in an uncontrolled manner, the social media can be a lot harmful. Social media also encourages cyberbullying, which is a huge issue in all over the world since the last 5 years. Also, social media just removes the privacy from a person's life. According to Indian customs or Indian beliefs, we say a person who is more active in the social life physically can have a high level of mind knowledge, practical science, and applyment of that, and can apply. As we see the Dwarika incident recently, the temple was made quite thousands of years ago, but still it suffers this big thunder. But now we see the builders and the constructions here. The people who are active on social media have less thinking skills. They are restricted to a particular area of thinking. So hence the mind cannot develop further. Researchers suggest that the people who limit their social media time tend to be happier than those who don't. Studies also indicate that the social media may trigger an array of negative emotions in the users that they contribute the worsen depression of symptoms of depression. Social media trolls are also known as the virtual gangsters, use inflammatory messages to provoke emotional responses of people, disturbing the civil discussion. I would like to conclude here, anything over limit is harmful, and social media is way more harmful than anything over limit. Thank you.
Thank you, Shlok. That was quite an impassioned argument out there. So I just hope you're ready to face the rebuttal question. Shlok? Okay, so let's request our judges to choose an opponent who can ask you your rebuttal question.
Is Aditi Guha there?
Participants, yes,
Aditi,
please raise your virtual hands.
Ask a question?
Yes, ma'am, I am there.
Yeah, please ask your question.
Ma'am, I have not raised the hand.
Okay. Someone else, whoever.
Shall we ask Siddhant Prabhu to ask his question?
Thank you, ma'am. My respected opponent, you said that our quality of life is in no way better than those born in the 19th century or earlier. Is not advancement against social taboos like menstruation and love marriages and the progress of the human race against problems like racism and sexism, according to you, an improvement?
See, the racism and sexism you told was not a way back earlier. Women were also respected, and there was a casteism as we move back towards the Vedic era. Also, the casteism was good. I strongly say the casteism you mentioned was good in the Vedic era, as we see the people were early Vedic era better. Better I say early Vedic era, because the people were divided according to the work they do. Also, even if a Brahmin son does a sweeper work, he was also considered Shudra, and a Shudra does a Brahmin work, he was considered a Brahmin. So that is not a big deal of casteism. The work you do, you represent the caste. So I would say that and to highlight your point that people in the 20th or 19th century were more better. See, nowadays the social media has harassed the grammar or the writing skills. I say, particularly I focused on the word harassed, because the letter writing skills that were done in the letter communication and the scientific thinking of the people has completely destroyed. The short forms have completely misbehaved with the English grammar. So I think I have given the answer of your question.
Thank you, Shlok. Thank you so much.
May I call upon the next participant, Arohi Lal, who is going to speak for the motion. Arohi Lal, over to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Your time starts now.
It's a dialogue, not a monologue. And some people don't understand that social media is more of a telephone than a television. A very good morning to the judges, principal, teachers, and all my dear friends. I am Arohi Lal and I'll be speaking for the topic, Social Media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century. To understand this topic, we first need to understand what exactly is social media. Social media are the websites and computer programs that allow people to communicate and share information on the internet using a computer or a mobile phone. First, in this COVID situation, many people have started their own businesses. It has given them and their innovation wings. Housewives have started businesses and have become fruitful breadwinners. A recent PayPal survey revealed that India is already the leading Asian market for e-commerce. It is projected to become $100 billion vertical of commerce by 2025. Let me give you my own personal example. So I saw this random chole bhature seller at the side of the street that belonged to a 80-year-old couple. These were one of the most scrumptious chole bhature that you could have. This random YouTuber just uploaded the video of these people selling chole bhatures, and overnight they became famous. Now these people, thanks to social media, earn a living enough to create a profit and live a fruitful living. 21st century skills, my dear friends. It is the need of the hour. To name a few: critical thinking, collaboration, character, creativity, and communication. Let me give you this example of a gentleman who was in a very small village of India who started in making these sanitizer dispensers during this COVID situation. He not only put he put this on social media, and it allowed people to replicate the method of creating sanitary dispensers. This not only helped people but stopped people from reinventing the wheel. We are living in the age of social media. And in this age, social media, one of the most various advantages of social media is it's brought friends and family together. Ask your parents this one question: have they or have they not met their 20-year-old school friends on social media? It has allowed a concerned mother sitting all the way across the globe to see her child that she's yearning for. It mends and tends relationships. It fosters relationships. So has it or has it not improved the quality of life? Another one of the various advantages of social media, again, it has helped talent emerge. Especially if you scroll to even a random social media page, you will see numerous poets, writers, and artists, budding artists on social media who have been given a platform to emerge. Let me take an example of Ranu Maria Mandal. She was a woman who was sitting at the side of the street humming a song, and a passerby heard this nightingale's voice and randomly just took a video and put it on social media. This woman's life was changed. From now being a woman sitting on the street and singing random songs, she got the opportunity to become a playback singer in one of the most biggest industries,
Your last
Bollywood.
30 seconds.
So, my dear friends, ask yourself this question: would we have the same lives as we do right now without social media? Would everything that is right now would have existed without social media? If social media hasn't improved the quality of life in the 21st century, I don't know what has. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arohi. Some very thought-provoking examples being put forward, very relatable. The session is open for rebuttal. May I request the participants to raise their hands?
Does Saumyajit want to speak? Does Saumyajit Pal?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my opponent explained about the chole bhature seller who got famous overnight because due to a post uploaded by a YouTuber. However, there is also some controversy going around it, as he filed a complaints against the YouTuber for misappropriation of funds. So wouldn't you say that it has taken away his peace of mind? And he was also admitted to the hospital recently.
I'm sorry, thanks for the question, but I didn't really understand. What do you mean by it was taken away from the peace of mind?
He has filed a complaint against the YouTuber for misappropriation of funds, and he was also admitted to the hospital recently due to the negative emotions going around here. So wouldn't you say that it has taken away his peace of mind
Well,
instead of doing him good? And he also had opened a restaurant earlier, and he's now back to where he was selling earlier right now.
Well, think of this as an example. This 80-year-old couple, before this video was uploaded, these were people without money. They couldn't afford daily food itself. 100 rupees was their daily sale. And from that, it took almost 5 times was how much money they've invested in just making what they made. When this video went viral, they got got enough money to live a fruitful living. And yes, I know about what you're talking about, but yes, it has also helped him. And this is one example. Various other examples where it has helped so many people. It has helped businesses grow. Taking of small vendors who are now on Amazon, who've collaborated with Amazon, and they're selling their products over there. People can buy their products who are across even the state borders. So don't you think when you weigh the scales, the pros are much more than the cons?
Thank you, Arohi. Thank you, Soumyajit.
Continuing with the debate. So the mood is all set now for a long day of arguments and counter arguments, and it's getting more interesting by the minute. Let me invite our next speaker, Aditri Guha, A3, who is speaking against the motion. Aditri, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Am
the
I
best,
audible?
Aditri. Yes, of course, very much. All the best, Aditri.
Your time starts now.
Good morning to all. Respected chairperson, today I am here to speak against the motion. Social media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century. In little more than a decade, the impact of social media has gone from being an entertainment extra to a fully integrated part of nearly every aspect of daily life for many. Social media use has skyrocketed over the past decade and a half. More than 70% of the world population is connected to social media. Growth in the number of people who use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat and other social media platforms, and the time spent on them has garnered interest and concern among policymakers, teachers, parents, and clinicians about social media's impact on our lives and psychological well-being. Multiple studies have found a strong link between heavy social media usage and an increased risk for depression, anxiety, loneliness, self-harm, inadequacy about your own life or appearance, and even suicidal thoughts. Oftentimes, people upload traumatizing and explicit content, which can trigger people and cause mental illness, anxiety, depression, etc., which can lead them to spiral. 60% of people using social media reported that it has impacted their self-esteem in a negative way, and 50% reported social media having negative effects on their relationships. Social media has helped many businesses grow and promote itself, and has helped people find a better way to connect and communicate with one another. But it has forced small businesses like local shops to shut down. Many people tend to binge on social media, spending hours and hours scrolling through sites. Ultimately, this may lead to a constant craving of more internet and more social media consumption. Social media has created a feeling among users that they must share whatever they are doing, from restaurant orders to concerts to the books they are reading. They can have a negative impact as it can urge people to become dependent on posting anything occurring in their own lives and painting those occurrences as rosier than they truly are. New studies show just how bad social media is for the mental health, as people feel pressure to do certain things that will make them seem like they're cool or living up to specific standards. We also know that cyberbullying is a big problem for many teens around the world, occurring whenever threats or comments are made online to hurt others, whether it's unintentional or intentional. When people see others having a wonderful life as represented on social media, they tend to have a negative self-image and start to devalue their own ways of life. Newspaper articles report how easy it is for people nowadays to use scams to allow access to others' private information. This could be also dangerous to one's identity and security. Jeffrey Hall, PhD Director of the Relationships and Technology Lab at the University of Kansas, says, no matter what the technology is, there is always a cultural belief that it's replacing face-to-face time with our close friends and family. So, with all things said, and with social media being such a big part of people's life, it's important to understand the impact it makes and how it could affect the future of this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditri. That was quite convincing there. So your opponents must have surely by now devised their rebuttal questions. Let's move to the rebuttal round and request the judges to select the participants who would like to ask the rebuttal question.
Yes, can we have some more hands up there? I think Aniket has already got this chance.
Come on,
Does any other
participants.
student have any question? Because I can see only one hand here. Any other student would like to go ahead with their question?
We are having two now.
Yes, we can ask Shashwat. Please proceed with your question.
As you said that social media is one of the main reasons which makes teenager commit self-harm and other bad things. So how exactly does social media promote teenagers to do that?
Thank you for the question. My good debater, teens today now feel they are seeing things on social media and are feeling pressure to do those things so that they may seem cool or they are living up to specific standards. And also, when the teens around the world are copying the others, they are also facing threats or comments, and those are made online to hurt others, whether it's intentional or unintentional. So it's affecting their mental health and causing them depression, anxiety, etc. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditri.
Thank you, Aditri. Now, may I request Adit Shah, our next participant, to come forward and put his points ahead. Adit Shah, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Adit, all the best.
Your time starts now.
Any sufficiently developed technology is indistinguishable from magic. Good morning, respected chairperson, dear judges, and all my friends. I, Adit Shah, would like to open my debate for the claim that social media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century with this very wise quote. Since time immemorial, humans have established the basic necessities of life as food, water, and shelter. But the 21st century has paved the way for us to add social media and the internet to that list. Along parallel lines, social media has become the fourth pillar of democracy, besides the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. Social media is rightly justified as the disseminator of information and the catalyst to social change, as it reflects the status quo of human society and shows us what we really are, to make sure we steer ourselves to a better, brighter future. Civilians who have quaint hobbies and talents may not find like-minded people in their social circles. Here, social media acts as a link between two people and helps them introduce each other to a whole new world. To further shed some light on my stance, I would like to show you another example where social media bridges the physical distance. Today, I can talk to a friend in New Jersey 12,000 kilometers away in mere seconds, just because of a 50 Mbps connection I have on my laptop. Because of social media, we have access to a myriad of information on our fingertips. I can look at public opinion, views, images even, for any topic that fosters interest in me. It has helped increase the productivity of humans as scientists and intellectuals discover more of their kind across the globe, collaborate, and deliver groundbreaking results. The primary role of social media has been to create an informed citizenry, and it has stood the test of time, not being muffled, gagged, strangled by any form of external force. I firmly believe that all of us dwell in a garden of diverse traditions, backgrounds, and cultures, a garden planted by the seed of social media in the 21st century. To further elucidate my claims, I would like to show you the example of a protest against bad racial discrimination in the mid 2020 time period in the United States of America. Yes, I am talking about the BLM, the Black Lives Matter protests, where due to social media and the mobilization of data, there was a huge demand for justice, and people who faced oppression previously found a voice. To conclude, I would like to idiomatically state that social media is the lubricant which helps the cogs and wheels of fraternity and quality of life in human society function smoothly in the 21st century. Thank you.
Thank you, Adit. It was an intriguing speech. The session is now open for rebuttal. May I request the participants to raise their hands?
Shall we ask Dhruv to proceed with his question?
Yes. So you said that social media gives us information on all topics. That also includes content that might be inappropriate for children. And you said it increases productivity, but it may also divert their attention. So what are your views on that?
Thank you, dear opponent, for the question. Here, I would like to quote a very wise man who said that technology is a very useful servant, but a very dangerous master. To answer your question, the most importance lies in discretion. There are always parental controls for any kind of social media you use, and monitoring also helps. As far as the second part of your question, where you talk about the decrease in productivity, well, again, I would like to talk about discretion and self-control, where I understand how you might talk about people who mindlessly scroll for hours, waste countless hours of theirs. I would also like to show you examples such as Khan Academy, Skillshare, Masterclass, all of these media where if you put good use, if you put social media to good use, it can increase your productivity instead of decreasing.
Thank you, Adit.
Jofi ma'am. Yes, I was just wondering, Jofi ma'am, about our topic for the day. Social media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century. I don't know about the quality of life, but it has definitely improved the quality of listening. We are getting to listen to such, interesting information and perspectives out here. So anyway, carrying the debate forward here, let me call our next participant who's going to speak against the motion, Dishita Kumar. Dishita Kumar.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible and visible, ma'am?
Your time starts now.
Yes, all the.
We've always been told that social networking sites are the most influential platform for representing our talent in all possible fields. In today's society, the use of social media has become necessary for daily interaction and access to news and information. It is the quintessential aspect of life of the modern, stylish, and educated individual. It serves as a platform for pure ostentation these days and has lost its root purpose, rekindling of past relationships. Some people may argue that social media is a necessary evil, but evil it is for sure. Respected Chair, distinguished judges, and my dear teachers and friends, I, Dishita Kumar, stand before you to firmly negate the topic. Social media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century. More than 3 billion people use social media, and we're spending an average of 2 hours every day sharing, liking, and tweeting on these platforms. That breaks down 500,000 tweets and Snapchat photos shared every minute. Smartphone addiction has become such a normal part of everyday life that we don't even put down our phones while we eat, regardless of whether we are at home or with our family and friends. This affects our emotional and social well-being. Social media has its own ugly and threatening face with too many ill effects. Many neuroscience researchers show that smartphones are making us stupider, less social, more forgetful, more prone to addiction, sleeplessness, and depressed. It impacts human productivity and well-being, as we all spend a substantial time hooked on our phones, laptops, and other fancy gadgets. We have become slaves of technology. The real-life moments, like your first day at school, the first time you rode a cycle, the day you received the Student of the Year award, are all imprinted in your memory. But now, you're all turning these into social media milestones. People have begun celebrating the number of followers they have, the number of likes one gets, and whatnot. Slowly, the tactile experience of life is turning into smooth glass. Technology has also become a tool in the hands of criminals and antisocial elements. There's a rampant increase in stalking, bullying, blackmailing, deceit, and theft. It is time we come out of our self-made cocoon of the virtual world. Try putting social media and you would be a bird soaring in the eternal sky of reality. You would be no longer worried about the judgments of unknown people. It would straighten our spines and probably make you an installer also. We live on through our screens. We're always plugged in and always distracted. We need to quit social media and get back to face-to-face communication. You know, just to return to the fundamental quality of being human. Thank you.
Thank you, Dishita. You actually raised the bar by quite a few notches there. Great job done. So let's see, let's see how your opponents actually throw challenges at you. May I request the judges to kindly choose participants who would be wishing to ask you a rebuttal question. Opponent participants, please raise your hands.
Danki, would you like to choose the student for the rebuttal?
All of them have spoken once, isn't it? Aniket, Siddhant, and Dhruv. They have already asked a question. Can we have some other participants, please? Please raise your hand.
Participants willing to ask a rebuttal question, please raise your virtual hand.
I don't think you have asked before.
Girish has not spoken.
Yeah, Girish, go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so my question is this: the point you said that we all have to move to we have to move away from social media, we have to forget social media. Social media has saved many lives of people, gave many justice to the people, gave many jobs to the people. So do you think that all that jobs, all that people saved and future, without social media, can we do that?
Thank you, worthy opponent, for your question. Well, social media may have its own uses, but in today's time, social media is being misused more than being used. There's so much of false information that is being circulated. Even during COVID-19, there was a lot of misinformation that was being circulated. Instead of giving clarity to the people, it was actually making people more confused and made people panic even more.
Thank you, Dishita. Right, moving ahead. We move ahead to the next participant. May I call upon Palak Shinde, who will be speaking for the motion. Palak Shinde, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Can you see me and hear me?
Your time starts now.
Yes, Palak.
We live in a time of drastic changes, and one of the biggest breakthroughs of the 21st century is the advent of social media. With this, I, Palak Shinde, will speak for the motion. A very good morning to all the judges, teachers, and all my dear friends. Social media helps maintain relationships. Social media is not a media. The key is to listen, engage, and build relationships. It's not uncommon for people to meet through online dating apps such as Tinder or Bumble. In fact, it may be more common. Social networking sites SNS have tried to recreate face-to-face interactions on the web by allowing people to interact publicly or privately. Many people use social media as a way to stay connected to their people or develop or maintain relationships with individuals who may be close to them, who may not be close to them geographically. When it comes to location, social media websites allow families, couples, and friends to stay connected using a simple click of button. Text messages, audio and video calls, and voice messages help people stay in contact. Social media helps people access information from all over the world. For example, the tragic death of the finest photojournalist of India a few days ago. He died between the clash of the Afghan troops and the Taliban. A candle march had been led by a group organized on Facebook. Such support groups are very helpful to people. Blogs are useful platforms to express. They help readers, students, and teachers. There are countless blogs that uh, serve as a platform to people to voice their ideas, thoughts, and feelings. Whether your passion be business, personal finance, cooking, politics, photography, or marketing, blogging gives you the opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals who share the same passions. Most people start with one blog, but along the way they gain experience and eventually generate ideas for blogs in other niches. What you learn from your initial blogs, the do's and the don'ts, marketing strategies that are effective, how about money blogging or etc. will help you accelerate the growth of your future blogs. Opportunities for disabled and lesser privileged children, NGOs and help campaigns. Social media for NGOs offers a great chance to present their work to the outside world and to get in contact with their supporters. Beneficiaries and other people who are interested in their work can also check out their social media accounts. These profiles do not have the same functions as of a normal account, as they are, and as the name suggests, more social. They share pictures, short texts, little videos, and give an insight of their work instantly. They they also help businesses grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Palak. May we have the fellow participants getting ready for the rebuttal? I request all the fellow participants to kindly raise their hands.
Radha.
So as part of your argument, you said that people who use phone calls and video calls are connecting to different people using social media. But actually, phone calls and telephone calls are different from social media. They are not active part of social media. So how does that come in the advantage of?
WhatsApp, the question is very nice. I would like to say that WhatsApp, Instagram, and Snapchat are parts of social media, and they provide connections to other people.
Thank you, Palak.
So after Palak, we have our next participant, Shaila Patri. Shaila, I hope you're ready. Shaila is speaking against the motion. Shaila Patri.
Ma'am, can I
Yes, you're audible, Shaila. All the best.
Your time starts now.
What is social media? Facebook, Google, and Instagram. Just yesterday, I read my friend's tweet stating, I have 442 friends, yet I'm lonely. And I speak to all of them daily, but yet none of them really know me. Has really social media improved our lives in this way? Then I'm correct to stand against the motion. Good morning, dear judges. I, Shala Patel, speaking against the topic of social media has improved the quality of our life in the 21st century. My dear learned friends will say that social media brings us information, awareness, but I'll say that it rather brings misinformation, conspiracy theories, and rumors. Can I ask you a question? What is the first thing that you would do after getting up from the bed? Most of us get out of the bed in the morning and instead of brushing our teeth, we check our phone. Just for updates, for statuses, for anything and everything. It seems like our entire life revolves around our phone. What will we do if our phone is gone? Oh, so do you think has social media improved our lives? I know the absolute facts that we can connect to our relatives through Instagram stories and their tweet. But if it is without their consent, it leads to overthinking and insecurity. Cybercrime and hacking right now is the biggest threat to the world and the whole country. In the country and to anyone. We speak about something, say mobile phone. We get an advertise of that thing just right after speaking. This is leakage of data. People use the social networking apps and that apps leak our data. Our mobile phones have actually become smarter than us. The hate given to people through social media is the biggest factor that has degraded the qualities of their life and brought negativity in it. Social media platforms are the major factors that are leading to the distraction and hindrance of time. Right now, we use social media when we study. Just when the notification pops up, we get distracted. And that distraction leads us to use social media and then our grades get degraded. So I want to ask all my worthy friends, does scrolling through Instagram for the 100th time today makes you anxious, irritated, or depressed? Put down the phone right now and use up your time. Be honest with yourself and disengage yourself from social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaila. That was very impactful there. So we move into your rebuttal round. Let's wait for the participants to raise their hands and let the judges choose an opponent for you.
Yes, I think we can ask Shlok Parikh. Have you spoken earlier, Shlok?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You may go ahead.
Hello. I wanted to ask that she mentioned that my dear friend mentioned that scrolling through Instagram and all that. Does that refresh you from a boring schedule in this?
So that's a nice question. So can I ask you one thing? This is what we want from our life, just scrolling through Instagram and everything? Actually, we need to grow in our life and this acts as a hindrance for that.
Thank you, Shaila. May we move ahead to the next participant now? May I call upon Siddhant Prabhu?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Siddhant, you're audible. You may start.
Thank you. The power of social media is that it forces necessary change. It creates communities, it brings together people, kindles the flame of ideas, and is today changing the world for better. Very warm greetings, respected judges and learned opponents. Today, I am going to present my case on why I believe social media has improved my life for humanity in the 21st century. Today, I stand here in front of you telling a story of one young girl from Sweden, a girl who decided the time for change had come and it was now. She stopped going to school and stood in front of the Swedish parliament to get the lawmakers to listen. 100 years ago, she would be met by indifferent Goliaths walking straight past her. But not that day. That fortunate day, she had social media on her side. And a one-man protest soon became a rebellion. A rebellion against corporates eating into our environment for profit. A rebellion against governments who turned a blind eye in their hunger for power. And that one girl who decided something must be done suddenly stood in front of world leaders asking for them to be held accountable. It actually brought about real change. The Arab Springs is another example, a Middle Eastern movement where we saw governments being shown the door, leaderships being bluntly held responsible for their actions and regimes overthrown. What more do we need to understand the power of social media? Today, I stand here in disbelief after listening to what my worthy opponents have had to say about social media. It astonishes me how their argument is built on ideas that misinterpret real and important data. They have villainized social media and painted it as an evil when it is not. You know what? Do not listen to me, listen to the numbers. 5% of adults suffer from what the medical community refers to as SMI or serious mental illness. But this number rises to a scary 14% in the case of teenagers. This number seems to counter-argue everything I have been trying to say. But the truth is, that is not what it's saying. SMI rates haven't increased much in the past 50 years for adults. However, teenage SMI rates have skyrocketed. And though the obvious excuse my opponents are giving is social media, it is untrue, since a higher percentage of adults are on social media than teenagers. This is but definite proof that the increasing mental illnesses are not because of social media, at least not on the massive scale they are depicted to be. It is instead because the increasing competition and population, rigid education system, and bleak future for both the planet and humanity that keeps us teens awake at night. Respected chairs, today the ball is in your court and we are at a crucial juncture of human history and we have to make our choices. I ask to you this question: how much of what my opponents have painted as fact is actually just a narrow interpretation of unnecessary data? Is the fact that people today have equal opportunities no matter what caste they are born in a hindrance to human life? Is the fact that today everyone has access to healthcare online a reason for degrading quality of human life? Are we lowering the quality of human life when we hold governments of the world and mega corporations responsible for their actions? Is representation for the pride community, abolishment of many backward traditions, and an attempt at leveling of the floor for all to chase their dreams a crime towards human prosperity? Because isn't that what my worthy opponents are alleging when they are pointing all the blame to social media? How ironic are these statements when they come weeks after we all know a loved one whose life was saved due to prompt responses by the social media community regarding plasma donations, oxygen, and necessary drugs. Respected judges, in this world where social media is like a series of dominoes, it is up to us where we tip it towards. It can save lives or we can lose lives. I would like to end by a thought that I feel summarizes my entire case. In today's world, the question is not whether to use social media, rather it is how to. With that, I rest my case. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Siddhant. Very strongly put forward your thought process and perspective. The session is open for rebuttal. Siddhant, I think we are ready to face the questions. Fellow participants, may you please raise your hands.
Very few hands coming up there.
Russia, have you spoken before?
No, ma'am.
Go on, carry on.
You mentioned about competition. You mentioned about how competition is causing mental illness. So, what exactly do you mean by that sentence?
Thank you so much for your question, ma'am. To answer your question, I believe we do not need to look much forward than my own country of India. India is a country of competitive exams, where lakhs of students fight for a mere 1,000 or 2,000 seats in their dream colleges. Above all that, the insane pressure to get into these colleges by the people surrounding them is mammoth. So when these circumstances are taken into consideration, it is easily observable that every student has to give everything they have in them to reach their goals. And even then, 99% of them don't. This acts as a major hindrance to their mental health and causes them to stay awake at night, think more than they should about stuff that doesn't matter, and face a lot of mental problems regarding all this?
Thank you, Siddhant.
Participant A6, Vedant Bafna.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Vedant. So are you in a combative mood, Vedant?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you feeling combative right now?
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. So because you are going to fight it out now with your argument, which is going to be against the motion. All the best, Vedant.
Just 3 years ago, a 14-year-old girl took her own life. That same girl's social media found graphic images of self-harm and suicide. And that did something that was unthinkable. A young girl who had her life in front of her gave it up just because of some photos. Good morning, respected chair and worthy opponents. Social media is known to exacerbate teenagers' body image issues, cause sleep deprivation, and intensify bullying. But there is now a considerable amount of research to suggest that social media may also be to blame for increasing levels of mental health problems, such as anxiety and depression in teens. So is not social media to blame for the fact that teen anxiety and depression has risen exponentially in recent years? Is not Instagram the reason why 9 out of 10 girls are unhappy with the way they look, and the rates of teenage eating disorders have doubled in the past 7 years? When 7 out of 10 school-age children state that they would gladly get rid of their social networking account, if not for the fear that they would be left out of the loop, it becomes our responsibility as caregivers to critically analyze the role that it is playing in their lives. One survey showed that 74% of millennials talk online rather than in person. And another study showed that 62% of people admitted to using digital gadgets while with others. Another problem that we need to address is how social media is harming one's creativity. Not only is scrolling through social media platforms a major time killer, it's also a surefire way for you to get tangled up in comparison, likes, and comments. Plus, it can lead to analysis paralysis, where you feel like you have too many ideas and options swirling in your head and you can't take action. A study from Karpinski found that the average Facebook user had a GPA of 3.0 to 3.5, while the non-Facebook user had a GPA of 3.5 to 4.0. Also, the average Facebook user studied for 1 to 5 hours per week, while the non-Facebook user would study for 11 to 15 hours per week. Many researchers are aware that Facebook is not the only thing that could possibly be taking away study time. However, 55% of those surveyed access their pages several times a day or at least once a day for a long period of time. The blue light emitted by our cell phone screen restrains the production of melatonin, the hormone that controls your circadian rhythm. This makes it even more difficult to fall asleep and wake up the next day. Notably, 40% of adolescents report that they use a mobile device within 5 minutes before going to sleep, and 36% report waking up to check their device at least once during the night. Another perpetuating factor of social media addiction is the fact that the reward centers of the brain are most active when people are talking about themselves. In real life, it's estimated that people talk about themselves around 30 to 40% of the time. However, social media is all about showing off one's life and accomplishments. So people talk about themselves a staggering 80% of the time. When a person posts a picture and gets positive social feedback, it stimulates the brain to release dopamine, which again rewards the behavior and perpetuates social media addiction. Respected chair, is this what my worthy opponents are referring to when they say that social media has improved the quality of life? Is this really improving our life, or is it in actuality destroying it? Because just 50 years ago, talking to someone only on a screen sounded not only preposterous but also destroying. Only 50 years ago, each person met with others and actually talked in real life. And only 50 years ago, our happiness was not dependent on a phone screen. Thank you very much.
Wow, Vedant, that was both informative and combative. Really well done there. Okay, so let's see what the rebuttal round has in store for you, Vedant. Participants, please put forth your rebuttal questions.
Ismail, please go ahead with your question.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I just wanted to ask that you listed so many of problems related to the social media. How do you suggest we put countermeasures for all the following problems you told?
I think that
a lot a lot of mental health rates, a lot of depression rates that are going up in teens. We should control the parents, the caretaker should control how much they use screen and what they use, and a lot of other things. I think that if we use social media in if you use social media in proper account, in if you don't overuse it, then I think a lot of problems can be solved. Thank you.
Thank you, Vedant. Moving forward, may I call upon the next participant, Anvi Chechani. Miss Anvi Chechani, are you there?
Yes.
Your time starts now.
How many times have we been scolded for spending so much of time on social media? How many times have we been told that our parents' generation were a lot better and way more disciplined because the menace called social media did not exist way back then? Well, to those parents and all other parents of their generation, I would very humbly and respectfully like to submit what Benjamin Disraeli said. Predominant opinions are generally the opinions of the generation that is vanishing. A very happy morning to the respected judges and my dear friends. Today I, Anvi Chechani, am going to speak for the motion. Social media has definitely improved the quality of life in the 21st century. And it is quite inevitable from what we are witnessing at present. Without social networking, we would have not been able to join this very meeting. The whole world would have been brought to a standstill during the pandemic without social media. During the COVID-19 pandemic, social media use has accelerated to the point of becoming a ubiquitous part of modern life. Without this, the education of 1.2 billion students across the globe would have come to a dead stop. Apart from that, in the business world, social media has often come to the rescue of those who have suffered major setbacks during the lockdown. Social media has enabled us to reach out to an older audience on Facebook, use an interesting image to connect with younger users on Instagram, and foster professional relationships through LinkedIn posts. Let us take an example of a renowned YouTuber, Prajakta Kohli, our very own, mostly sane. She started with a handful of subscribers and ended up meeting Michelle Obama through her YouTube platform. This is just one instance out of many which have boosted the life of millions of people. Personally, talking about myself, I come from an ultra-conservative Hindu background, where certain foodstuffs, item of clothing, and people who espouse these foodstuffs and item of clothing are considered to be non-grata. And I would have grown up believing this. But I won't. Why won't I? A lot of credit rests with social media. It has helped knit the communities of the world together. Today, I may come across someone living abroad. But what if I want to stay in touch with that person? Social media is the answer. Talking about our very own student community, social media has been instrumental in helping many students come out of their shells. And according to Keith Miller, about 1 in 4 teens say that their experiences on social media have helped them to feel less shy when interacting with others in real life. To give my very own example, for someone who would get cold feet every time that she was asked to go on stage, I would have never been able to address such an august house with this platform. Thus, I end my proposition on that personal note. Thank you.
That was really thought-provoking. Hope you're ready for the rebuttal.
Yes, ma'am.
Participants may raise their hands.
Can we take Dishita's question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We all can agree that health is wealth, but we also know that social media is causing various psychological and mental problems. So, what is the use of using social networking at the cost of one's well-being?
Thank you, worthy opponent, for that question. Well, at the same time it is causing psychological problems, it is also helping to cure problems. Like many medical professionals have used social media as a medium to cure many diseases, as a medium to cure many patients. It proves worthy for some patients to spend productive time on social media. And for example, they may spend time on meditation on social media, which may help to cure many diseases. Thank you.
Thank you, Avni. I'm next inviting our next speaker, Drashya Kalola, participant A7. Participant A7, Drashya Kalola, are you with us?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
All the best, Drashya. The microphone is all yours.
Your time starts now.
He passed away on the 14th of June, 2020. The world wept at the death of this famous luminary from the world of cinema. It was the end of an era. Thank you for observing silence, everyone, because your sound, the sound of your silence, communicates to me far more than words can. Sushant Singh Rajput passed away, and it was my status update on Facebook right after the moment, and it went on to record 300 likes. Now, what can people possibly like about that is something I couldn't fathom. But yes, 300 people liked it on Facebook, till I deleted it in frustration because I was not looking for them to like my post, but resonate with my silence. I was looking for reverence. I was looking for poetry of quiet communication. And therefore, my fellow participants and judges, I, Drashya Kalola, wish to record my emphatic opposition to today's motion. Social media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century. Now let us look how social media is more of a bane than a boon. Teenagers these days lose themselves in creating illusions and a version of themselves in which everything is picture perfect. Their popularity is determined by the number of likes that their pictures garner. They get into a race in outdoing each other. And in this process, they often lose sight of their priorities and are often lost hopelessly in the maze of distractions. Now, what about those who refuse to be a part of this self-aggrandizement project? Well, they are subjected to cyberbullying. They are often handpicked and labeled as geeky or nerdy and are subjected to further othering and boycotts. Next, exposure to inappropriate content. Children and adolescents are often exposed to inappropriate content and are catered material which turns them into semi-adults much before their age. This is one of the major reasons for a sharp rise in juvenile crimes, and it also accounts for an unhealthy relationship among members of opposite sex. Many of my friends have espoused how social media is an effective way in staying in touch with long lost friends. To them, I ask, well, why did you lose touch with them in the very first place? And do you think a friendship, a relationship can be sustained only through an exchange of likes and smileys? With that, I would like to end my proposition that social media has caused more harm than benefits, at least for my generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Drashya. You were very convincing. You're strong on your content. I really liked the way you argued against the motion. So let's see what the rebuttal round has in store for you. Let's see who dares challenge you.
Has Ismail spoken?
Yes, once I have spoken, ma'am.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Janki Miss, you may please choose. There are about 6 hands, virtual hands.
Yeah. It's not sure.
Yeah, Adit, we can ask Adit.
Adit, can you speak? Adit, are you there?
Participant F4, Adit Shah.
If Adit is not available, I think to save time, we can quickly move to Yashvi.
Thank you, ma'am. You said that you asked us why we lost contact with people we were in with before and why should we share our pictures and gain happiness in the likes. What is wrong in sharing a happiness and our happy moments with people with whom we have not purposefully lost contact with? I mean, you can lose your phone. You cannot have those contacts, as now we don't have the habit of writing down contacts in a book. So then it's not really our fault. You can't really accuse someone that way, can you?
Well, looking today, we actually boost on social media rather than actually talking to the people. And do you really think that using those, those emojis, crying emojis, smiley emojis, this happened in my life, that happened in my life, is really a way to communicate with your long lost friend? I question you that question.
Thank you, Darshya.
Thank you.
May we move forward to the next participant now? I'd like to call upon Sakshi Vaidya, our next participant. Sakshi, I hope you're ready.
Yes, your time.
Yeah.
Your time starts now. Respected judges, teachers, and fellow classmates, I am Sakshi Vaidya, and I will support the motion social media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century. Social media, from the day it was invented, has been a major part of our everyday life. Especially during the time of the pandemic, social media has played a big role in becoming the new normal. Social media sites like Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter, Instagram have become a platform for sharing ideas and work. When the pandemic first struck, people's businesses shut down and they couldn't even sell their products. Now they can sell their products through online business campaigns and telemarketing. 30% of the social media business persons claim to have gotten better business online rather than offline. People cannot travel these days, so social media helps them connect with friends and family from afar. People meet new friends with shared interests. People get to know things happening from every corner of the world. How is this possible? This is because of social media. Availability of products can be checked on a day-to-day basis. Since we cannot go out of our homes, social media marketing of vegetables and deliveries has made our lives easier. Unemployment is also a big issue in our country. YouTube and different sites have provided people with a source of income for every video viewed. People, including children, get a chance to become personalities and stars just by opening a YouTube channel and posting a few videos. These sites and channels also help create awareness about issues persistent in our world. Talking about children, social media gives the children of today a chance to become open-minded and purposeful. They get ideas and get creative. Children get new role models by using social media sites. Curiosity is aroused in children when they search for things and learn new things from social media. Many social media sites provide a lot of information on any topic. Students use this information in their projects and assignments, which help them get good marks. 3.6 billion people worldwide use social media, Asia in the leading, the most secure social media site being Facebook. The CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, has promised $5 million to anyone who can hack it. Internet users worldwide spend at least 145 minutes on social media every day.
Social media is always a platform for sharing new ideas and new perspectives, meeting people and sharing ideas, even family, connecting with family from long time. In conclusion, social media has made the internet a better place to be. We are directly connected to our audience on a large scale. We can create meaningful impacts and content. Visuals and data gathering has become much easier thanks to the social media. Most importantly, social media helps connect every individual under a common roof. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakshi, for adding on a lot of statistics to your arguments. Well, that was thought-provoking. So, Sakshi, I hope you're ready for the rebuttal.
Yes.
Fellow participants are requested to raise their hands. Participants are requested to raise your hands. Yeah, I can see 4 virtual hands there. Sharmishta, ma'am.
We will need to ask someone who has spoken for, right? Because Anvi, would you like to go ahead with your question?
Yes, sure. You told that Facebooks are the most secured platforms, but then there are many instances where there are fake IDs created and they circulate wrong information. So what are your views on that, calling Facebook as a secured platform?
Creating wrong IDs doesn't make Facebook insecure. Creating wrong IDs is just another way of creating different IDs for one person. So this does not make Facebook insecure. That means that Facebook because Facebook is just taking in a lot of people. It is not finding out information about them. Now, when we create a fake ID, it is just different for us. But for Facebook, it is not a breach of security. Facebook will add as much security as there is for each and every wrong ID.
Thank you, Sakshi, and thank you, Anvi.
May I make an announcement? It is a request to all the participating students to please number yourself properly with the code given to you along with your name. For sample, just the way Sakshi Vaidya has named herself, F8 underscore Sakshi Vaidya. That was the announcement made before. Because the judges would find it very convenient to identify all of you, especially for the rebuttal round. Because we do not want any student from the same team to ask the question. The judges are getting confused because you people have not named yourself properly. So may I request all the students to please name yourselves properly? Thank you. You may continue with the round.
Yes, taking it forward. Now, I hope participants, none of you are going through hunger pangs or something like that. I hope not, because we're just halfway through. Okay, so inviting our next speaker. Our next speaker happens to be Khushi Udani. Khushi Udani, participant number A8, who is going to speak against the motion. Khushi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes, Khushi. Very well. Now,
Good
all the
morning.
best, Khushi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your
Good
time
morning,
starts
everyone.
now.
Good morning, everyone. I am Khushi Udani, and I am representing JG International School for today for the debate competition. I am against the motion of use of social media that social media has improved the lives of our in the 21st century. I am going to go further that express my views against it. Social media network sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram have been distracting students from their studies. Young boys and girls seem to have been indirectly addicted to these sites. They are thoughtlessly and uselessly wasting their precious times on these sites. Wise people say time well utilized is time well spent. But youth of the today is only wasting time on chatting, messaging, and uploading photographs and modifying profiles. These sites proves that ages 13 to 17 have proved that between 13 to 17, 75 people have active social media accounts, while 51% of them visit social media sites almost every day. These things and these age groups are for studying And furthermore, these ages cause them to have mental issues. When these age groups between 13 to 17, these teenagers, when they are cyberbullied, they force themselves to do something which will harm themselves, like doing suicide attempts, which are very harmful for them and their health, which may cause issues for their families. These social media sites have also spoiled the children's lifestyle. Okay, going further, these social media sites have caused children and teenagers to go away from the reality. These prove that children think that the social media is their life from now onwards, but that's not true. There is a reality. They have friends, they have family from which they are going away. They need to spend more time with their family and friends than going on these social media sites. Lying. Teenagers have started lying their parents on social media. They might say that they have only used the social media site for 15 minutes, but they might have been using them for past 5 hours. Next, it gets addictive. Anything that you use in excess gets you addictive to it. Maybe it alcohol, drugs, or social media. People have been using these social media sites which get them addicted to it. People start comparing themselves to others, thinking that they are not well enough for anything that they are doing right now. You might be good in your field, and the second person might be good in their field. So, when you compare yourself with others, this creates jealousy, and this jealousy furthermore creates rifts between the families. Next point of mine is mental disorders. People using social media in excess get mental disorders which spoil their health, such as their eyesight can also be spoiled, which may come further in their future, which may harm their health. Next is tracking. Tracking. People now are being tracked just by their location they used to send on their bios of Instagram and Facebook, which may cause further them problems. My next point is the risk for rewards. When people don't get enough number of likes and views on their profile, they try to do things which may harm their health, and they try to do videos and create videos which they think would be better for themselves and the others, which will gain them views and likes, but that's not true. People should stop doing these things and understand that social media is just a platform for entertainment and not for you to do something which is all you can't let your life be hold on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kushi. We open your rebuttal round now. So let's see who has a question for you.
May I make an announcement? This is to sound a word of caution. Participants should avoid reading from a previously prepared script, any paper or aids. The judges may please take note of this. Thank you. You may now resume your rebuttal round.
I think we can ask Hitarth.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you told that social media distracts students, right? But what about sites like Brainly where students put up their questions in order to get answers? This is really beneficial for the students, right?
Thank you for this question, and my answer for this question will be that social media sites do help us to get the answers, but we also have teachers and other people to help us out. These things might have helped us quickly, but social media also distracts people from their studies. These brainly.com and all might help you to get answers, but we also have some teachers. Teachers are also for us to clear our doubts.
Thank you, Khushi. That was an instant reply. May we move forward to the next participant now? And I would like to invite Harsh Balolia. Harsh Balolia, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm right here.
Yes, Harsh Balolia, over to you.
Yes.
Your time starts now.
It's not how long life is, but the quality of our life that is important. A very good morning to honorable judges, teachers, and a wonderful audience present here. I am Code F9, and today I am here to put forth my points for the motion social media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century. Let me begin by breaking down the topic. Let's talk about social media first. Social media is the way through which people can connect with each other, exchange their ideas and opinions, and can definitely bring a change in the society if they wish to. Social media is not just something that spoils the children according to Indian norms. Secondly, quality of life. According to WHO, quality of life is an individual's perception of their position in life in context of culture and value system. Basically, it's the degree to which an individual is satisfied with his life and enjoys his life. I wish to highlight certain aspects of social media which has actually helped to increase
quality of life index in terms of happiness, satisfaction, acceptance in society, and mental health. I would like to explain with an example. My sister is planning to go abroad to study, but the problem is she doesn't know anyone there. So she started getting anxious and her mind was full of second thoughts. But she discovered a platform called LinkedIn where she could connect with people from her own profession, and then she felt secure. Quality of life is also determined by the luxury with which we live and the amount of products we attain. And that brings me to the next point in which the field of business has gained a lot from social media. There is a win-win situation for the business companies as well as the clients. The companies get suggestions from clients which help them improve the quality of products. This in turn satisfies the clients. Then Instagram and Facebook play a crucial role as catalysts in spreading awareness. For example, last month was the Pride Month in which innumerable companies changed their DPs and made posts related to LGBTQ community. This helped the members of LGBTQ to open up and feel the zest of being accepted by the society. Health status also determines quality of one's life. A very good example would be the use of Zoom and Google Meet by doctors and physiotherapists to conduct online consultations and physiotherapy sessions. Social media is also a boon to introvert and shy people. An Indian YouTuber called Triggered Insan with more than 10 million subscribers has stated this fact himself that he wasn't able to work with people outside and socialize. This was when YouTube helped him to open up and he felt safe and enjoyed the process of video making. Lately, mental health has been in the talks a lot because the stress levels have increased exponentially as a result of work-life imbalance. There is this website called It's Okay to Talk, where you can open up about your experience and gain counseling for the same. There are also various screening events where you can meet like people and share your experience. This reduces the level of emotional insecurities and mental strain. I hope I was able to convince my point that social media has definitely improved the quality of life in 21st century. Thank you for lending me your ears.
Thank you, Harsh. You have rather convinced me with a plethora of the examples that you put forward. Thank you, Harsh. On that note, may we open the session for rebuttal? Can we have participants raise their hands?
Has Darshan spoken yet?
No, ma'am.
Please go ahead.
Yes. So, dear opponent, you said that a YouTuber called, can you please repeat his name?
That was Triggered Insan.
Okay. So he got subscribers from social media, right? YouTube. But do you really consider YouTube as a social media, and actually gaining subscribers does it make you socialized? Does it help you to socialize with people, gaining subscribers?
Yeah, it obviously doesn't help you to socialize, but at the same time, it helped the YouTuber in speaking and producing the content which he is doing. Otherwise, if he would have been doing the job which he had decided to, he would have not been able to open up much, and mental stress would be more on him. And followers is just a number, but then again, that motivates him to produce more content, and that is also an income source for him. So that is actually a good thing for him.
Thank you, Harsh. Manisha ma'am, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Jofi ma'am. Vedant Acharya, participant A9. Vedant Acharya, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vedant. So you're our next speaker, and I guess you are speaking against the motion.
Yes.
All the best, Vedant.
The time starts now.
I'd like to start by a quote. It takes discipline not to let social media steal your time, by Alexis Ohanian. Social media was a phenomenon that trapped the world within its clutches when it rose in the early 2000s. Fast forward to 2021, where social media has become a place for inciting hate. A survey by Pew Research Center stated that teenagers and young adults spend an astounding 6 to 10 hours on social media every day. This leads to no bonding with their parents and a drastic decrease in grades. Increased usage of social media may lead to cyberbullying. Statistics show that every 7 minutes, someone is bullied on social media. Social media is a driving factor for increase in hate crimes. Examples include the 2019 Christchurch shootings, where the perpetrator live streamed the assault on Facebook Live, or the 2017 London Bridge attack, where the offender was supposedly indoctrinated by extremists via social media. Social media adversely affects the human brain. It interferes with your ability to think independently, and it may hurt your self-esteem. Social media usage is linked to depression. Experts say social media leads to depression, or depressed individuals use social media so much that it makes them uninterested in any other activity. Social media usage also results to FOMO, fear of missing out, in young adults. When they see their friends and people they follow holidaying in exotic places or participating with their friends. Fear of missing out can lead to sleep deprivation and prioritizing social media interactions over real-world interactions. Social media has become a tool for extremist groups and rogue states to spread influence. Terror outfits like ISIS upload videos on YouTube, which strikes fear in people and persuade some people to join their cause. North Korea uses social media to issue fiery statements, such as North Korean missiles will, quote, stab the throat of Americans, unquote. Another example is the Capitol raid of 2021, where people were radicalized by social media and tried to overthrow the newly elected government in the United States. Scammers use social media for malicious intent, using ads and offers to market their scams. In the first half of 2020, people lost almost $120 million to social media scams. People sent money to online sellers that didn't deliver and phony offers for financial help. Social media is used by certain governments around the world to monitor their citizens and manipulate elections. And if the citizens are found to speak or act against the government, they're sent to so-called re-education camps, where they are supposedly taught to follow the government ideals. This leads to a creation of a police state, where citizens are constantly spied on by their governments, all due to their social media timeline. This is a worrisome trend for freedom, democracy, and human rights. Hence, social media has not improved the quality of life in the 21st century, but made the world a dangerous place. Thank you.
Goodness, Vedant, from where did you get all that scary information? Huh? You literally scared the wits out of me. Anyway, so let's get ready for your rebuttal round, and let's see who's there to ask questions. We can't see any. Yes, yes, we are having participants who have spoken for the motion.
Dant?
Respected opponent, you made some really valid points. My question to you is that for every capital raid, there is a Black Lives Movement. And after every capital raid, there are social media organizations stepping up and taking charge and banning individuals who encourage hatred. So in the end, it all favors good over evil. So according to you, is that not the right way to move forward? Thank you so much.
According to you, yes, Black Lives Movement and all those movements were inspired by social media, but dissent was caused by social media during it. And even in Black Lives Matters, there were people who spread hatred on social media, and that significantly slowed down the movement.
Thank you, Vedant. May we move forward with the debate now? Let me invite Pansari Girish Kamal Kishore, the next participant.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, Girish, you're audible.
Good afternoon, everybody. Respected judges, principal, teachers, and all my opponents. Today, I am going to keep a point against for the social media. So, first of all, talking about social media, let me say you one thing. Social media is not only Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or WhatsApp. It's not only that. Google is also an social media app. How? I will show you in the definition. According to the definition of social media is a collection of applications and applications. In applications, social Google is also known as search bar engine. Search bar engine comes in social media. There is only not social media. There are 8 or 10 types of social media in which search engine is also. So indirectly, you are getting points from social media app. That's Google. So would you like to say that if you are moving away from social media, can you get away from the Google? Second, social media are not time consuming. You can talk to a person without going to his place. Right now, I want to talk to my brother who is in Surat. I don't have to travel for 4 hours in between and coming 4 hours, 8 hours, and talking 4 hours, 12 hours. No, once a call, 4 hours talk, done. 12 hours the work is done in 4 hours. Third, if social media is banned, then many things would be done. Example, news providing person news. Anybody has heard about Saurav Joshi? I'm not talking about YouTuber. I'm talking about a simple human. Anybody know? Saurav Joshi is the person who was people of himself because he was talking to a girl at outside the village. Girl told that it's his fault, Saurav Joshi's fault, but he doesn't. That time he was brutally beaten, but he doesn't have any fault. That time social media was only the app who gave him justice. So Sushant Singh Rajput, anyone told about Sushant Singh Rajput? Sushant Singh Rajput. During that time, have you ever heard about news except Sushant Singh Rajput? That time there was COVID, so we can't go out. So there was a candle match by Facebook. Rajput Partners, I think that page name. They had a candle match. They took all the things. The people posted their tweets and all that. That made CBI to do an operation. And other things we are talking about news and marketing. Social media also helps in marketing, online marketing. Online marketing such as there is no investment, no capital needed for online trading. You can do it for free. LinkedIn, it's also an social media ramp. I didn't hear anyone saying LinkedIn. Only the all are saying is YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, and all. There are many social media apps who help to earn people. They help to earn without any capital. So why any contestant, any person in against used it? I will say you one story. It's about an YouTuber named Ashish Chanchalani. You all know, right? First, he didn't open his YouTube channel. No, he got support from Facebook, Facebook and Instagram. That gave him his encouragement to put videos on YouTube. And now he is also known as the top 3 biggest YouTubers in our country. He has gone many ways. Talking about mostly saying she also started her videos from Facebook itself. Now she had been meeting Dr. Our ex-president Barack Obama's wife. My point is that only Snapchat, Google is not an Snapchat, Instagram, Telegram. These are not only social media apps. There are many social media apps. So it's better not talk about the worst apps, but talking about the best apps such as Google Chrome, Google Plus, UC browser. We should be mature about using these all apps. Thank you. My point would be that.
Thank you, Girish, for the technical update. Now the debate is open for rebuttal. May I have participants raise their hands?
Shaila, have you spoken before? Shaila?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think Shlok also has spoken.
I think Aditri has not asked a question in rebuttal before.
Yes, ma'am, I have not asked.
Yeah, go.
Thank you. My good debater, I would like to ask you that Prajakta Kohli was one drop out of the ocean of YouTubers who got to meet an influential personality. What about the others?
Talking about others, I have not mentioned all the YouTubers. If I want to mention all the YouTubers, there are many YouTubers who started their journey from Instagram, Facebook, and all, and now they are having 500k. They are earning money. What makes it social media is not only about the clicks, the photos, the comments you do, the jokes you mean, the memes, that all that stuff. It's also earning. There are many online jobs done. I am using Instagram. I have seen many online jobs are done. They earn 50 to 60,000 per day. That's an enough income for an Indian to spend a day. That means he earns more than 2 lakhs in a week in a month. So would you like to stop this income also?
Thank you, Girish. Thank you, Aditri. So moving ahead with the debate competition here, let us invite our next participant, Nishi Bhavin Kumar. Gopani Nishi Bhavin Kumar, A10, who's going to
Yes, ma'am.
speak against the motion. All the best, Nishi.
Yes, ma'am. So, honorable judges and all my friends, I, Nishi Gopani, sitting right before you to speak against the motion, social media has improved the quality of life in 21st century. I personally believe that it has definitely not, because the word social and the word media were two different words decades ago. But now both the words have got together. And what I believe is they are, after these words have got together, they are personally ruining our lives. So the first point I want to keep is rumors. Rumors really play a very big role. We just keep forwarding the messages that we do not know the reality of. We do not know if the rumor about some particular person is true or not, but still we keep on forwarding it just because it has a good irony, right? So we need to know the truth, because this can literally cause a mental breakdown for some person about for whom the rumor is, right? The late poet Rahat Indori says that अफवाह थी कि मेरी तबीयत खराब है, अफवाह थी कि मेरी तबीयत खराब है, लोगों ने पूछ पूछ के बीमार कर दिया. So our respectable late poet Rahat Indori also believes it. So of course this was the thing that I wanted to keep to prove my point. The second is social media causes depression a lot, because when we see things that we do not have, the things we cannot get, that is human nature that we start comparing ourselves to it, and this causes depression. The things that we don't have, we have to stay content with we have, but we do not do that. Just because we see something on social media, the person comparing himself or herself to it starts getting depressed. Instagram has 1 billion users, Facebook has 2.6 billion, then Twitter has 186 million. What I believe is these are not the number of users. These are the people who choose to waste the time on. What I personally believe is social media is not called social media. For me, it is time eaters, because it literally eats our time. It literally makes us scroll and scroll. In that time, we could do something productive, something creative. But we don't. We just sit there and scroll, and that is what we need to stop. We need to start doing things that is really good for us. The second I want to say is the government has put a case on Twitter, because Twitter has said that one of the politicians has a manipulated media. Why? Why the government has to step into it? Just because the level of all this is getting higher and higher. We need to stop doing it. We need to do something that is making people's life better, not it is making it worse, right? So I want to just ask a question, that if social media gives you knowledge, what it costs you? It costs you your peace. And anything that costs you your peace, isn't it too expensive? I rest my case.
Nishi, maza aa gaya. I loved that desi quote you used, Great. Anyway, that was really out of the box thinking out there. So let's see what the rebuttal round has in store for you.
Girish has not asked a question before, right, Girish? Have you?
Ma'am, I have already asked.
All right. Harsh has also asked. So has Arohi. I think Arohi has not been given a chance for a rebuttal.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
I haven't asked.
All right, I'll come to you. Arohi, you may go ahead.
Yes, my worthy opponent. I would like to ask you, 1.5 years ago, we made some beautiful friendships that we wanted to nurture, but due to this COVID period and the sleep in time, our relationships have suffered a lot. What do you think would have happened if it weren't for social media? would our relationships would have persisted if it weren't for social media, if we weren't being able to communicate for 1.5 years? Do you think everything would have remained the same?
Yes, it would have. I personally think it would have, because what we need to do is we need to keep the relationship, not the social media. We need to keep the relationship by talking. So for talking, we do not need social media. We need phone calls, and phone calls aren't a part of social media. They are literally the exception. So we can make phone calls, and in this decade also there are people who believe in writing letters, and I am those people. I am one of those people. So writing letters is, I know, a bit old tradition, but still there are people who do it. So social media is not the necessity to do it, right?
Thank you, Nishi.
I would like to make an announcement. The students who are participating in the rebuttal round may please switch on their videos. Students who are participating in the rebuttal round may please switch on their videos. Thank you.
Thank you, Hetal ma'am. So let us move forward to the next participant.
Anik.
Participants are requested to kindly mute themselves. Thank you. So yeah, let us move forward with the next participant. May I invite Soumyajit Pal. Soumyajit, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Soumyajit, you may go ahead.
A very good morning and a warm greetings to respected principal, judges, teachers, and my fellow participants in this debate. Mobile phones are now a basic necessity of our modern lifestyle. From sending a simple message to our friends and colleagues, to buying luxury items from anywhere in any corner of the globe, mobile phones nowadays have become an integral part of our lives. In the olden days, mobile phones were capable of performing only essential tasks such as sending a message or making a call. However, the introduction of smartphones was all about how much more convenient they are than the old phones. In this 21st century, people have minimized their social life because of their hectic lifestyle and increase in geographical distance and economic concerns. However, the arrival of technologies such as social media and application have heralded a revolution in communication in the world. It has indeed brought people from all around the globe closer by creating, sharing, and exchanging information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. Social media sites such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Reddit, etc. have gained popularity globally because of the better interface. But has the introduction of social media in fact done more good than harm? Has social media really improved the quality of life in the 21st century? The answer is yes. There are many reasons to show that advantages of using social media greatly outweighs its disadvantages. First of all, it has made communication a lot easier. Due to advent of messaging apps, location or distance is not a barrier now for us to stay in touch with our friends and family. We are just one click away from connecting with our loved ones. A survey showed that around 70% of teens who remain online say social media has helped them to stay in touch with their friends whom they don't get to see regularly in their daily lives. Social media also helps people in developing social skills, as generally they like to make new friendships online. Also, with the help of social media, people can explore and showcase their creativity and exchange ideas and views. Apps such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. are the perfect place for a person to express themselves in such a way that they would shy away from doing in public. They can also upload their art, such as paintings, drawings, crafts, sing a song, dance, or showcase any of their talents, which will earn them appreciation and recognition, which in turn will have a positive impact on them. Also, an honest response becomes a guide for them to better shape their skills if they're looking to pursue that skill professionally. Social media also helps the common citizens of a country to express their views and opinion with others and widen their perspectives and understanding of issues that are most relevant in this world. It gives them a platform to raise their voice and reinforces in them a sense of belonging. They can impact governments by organizing protests, spreading awareness, signing petitions on issues such as climate change, racism, etc. People can also access latest news and stories about the current world situation at the tip of their fingertips rather than waiting for newspapers in the morning. With the help of social media, we can keep up with the latest trends on shopping and buy goods ranging from pen to big televisions with ease. Also, social media can be a catalyst for motivating people to believe that they can achieve and accomplish great things by following inspirational pages and personalities. Thus, social media becomes a powerful tool in shaping one's values and beliefs. It shows them how to express gratitude, show kindness, act with respect, and believe in one's potential. Thus, social media has had a very positive and profound impact on people's lives. Instead of focusing on its negative aspects, we should always find a way to use social media for good and keep ourselves up with the latest technology and create a balance between academic performances, physical activities with social media. Excess of using anything is harmful. Therefore, we must strive to live a balanced life and use it wisely. Thank you.
Thank you, Soumyajit, for showing the positive side of social media. On that note, the floor is open for the rebuttal. May I have the participants? Fellow participants, may I see you raising your hands?
We have only 3 hands raised right now, and I think all 3 have asked questions before, if I'm not mistaken. Also that he is from 4. Probably we could ask Shlok to go ahead with his question since there are no more hands we can see.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Shlok, you're requested to.
Am I audible?
Camera on. Yes, you're audible. Please switch on your camera.
Ma'am, sorry for that. I cannot switch on my camera because there is an electrical cut and switching off the camera will take a lot of
It's okay.
network load.
Please go ahead. You may please go ahead with your question. Shlok.
My question is that everyone here mentioned that social media is a great deal for businesses and all. But I want to ask that for the new business owners or the newbies in the business, those who have started a business recently have invested some amount and social media is prone to frauding. It's basically prone for frauding. So a person who has involved his money and has got a fraud done, wouldn't he be just depressed and a lot of stress will?
Well, thank you for a question, but I don't think I had mentioned anything about business in my speech, but I get your point. But for a person who is interested to invest in his business should look for credible sources so that he can invest without worries and not look up for any random posts on social media.
Thank you, Soumyajit, for answering that. Once more, children, I would like to reiterate, in the rebuttal round, it is really appreciated if you keep your questions really crisp and short. Thank you. Manisha ma'am, over.
Yes, thank you so much, Jyoti ma'am. May I now invite our next speaker, Meg Jaisalpura. Meg Jaisalpura, A11.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Meg, you're very much audible. All the best.
A very good morning, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. Do you know that there are around about 3.6 billion people on social media in 2021? Doesn't that number shock you? That's about half the population of Earth. And certainly social media brings with it an unprecedented havoc and has deteriorated our quality of life. Also, one can clearly see many children, adolescents, and adults spend hours on social media scrolling through the feeds. Social media gobbles up their time. One can also see many people staying up till late just to talk with their virtual friends. And the funny thing is that when they meet in person with these so-called virtual friends, they are not even able to have a single conversation. Have you ever felt tired after finishing your study or after completing some work and you open up a social media app for a few minutes? Just a few minutes. And when you keep your phone down, you see half an hour has passed. That is the case with most of the social media users. The instant gratification cycle of social media keeps them glued to the screen. Also, productivity levels have gone down drastically because of social media. Mental health and physical health is a key factor to determine the quality of one's life. And without doubt, one can say that social media has made us physically and mentally weak. Instead of spending time doing exercise and working out, people spend more time on seeing how many likes they got, how many people viewed their videos. With social media also comes many disadvantages like cyberbullying and cybercrime. A recent online survey done by Microsoft shows that 53% of the children aged between 8 to 17 years are victims of cyberbullying and cybercrime. Isn't that number shocking? Some people might argue and say that social media has improved the quality of our life by bringing us closer. Well, I totally respect their opinion, but I would say that social media has actually made us go farther from one another. The quality of friendship, love, and respect shown towards elders in the 21st century is nowhere near what it used to be earlier. Also, some people might say that social media has served as a boon in this pandemic. Well, again, I totally respect their opinion, but social media actually was the tool used to spread exaggerated and erroneous information that caused fear and stress amongst public. Even surveys show that more misinformation was spread than the actual information. All in all, I would say that social media has worsened the quality of our lives by being the tool for endless hours of chatting and making us weak physically and mentally. Thank you.
Thank you, May. Great argument there. So are you all set to face the results? We are having just one participant raising his hand.
Yeah, I think Adit can ask this question.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you for the recognition. My dear opponent, I would like to ask you a question in accordance to the fact that you said that social media wasn't required in the pandemic and it led to the sort of misinformation. Do you still believe that social media had the detriment, considering the fact that almost everyone we know and love was connected to us or to their loved ones through social media?
No, you can write here animal, bird, animal like that.
Yes, my respected opponent, I would say that social media connected us with the people, but the bad points of social media during the pandemic actually overshadow its good points. The wrong information actually spread like anything, and there was fear and stress, especially during the second wave of the pandemic. So the social media was actually for the majority of the people, it was more harmful than serving any good purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Meg. Let us move ahead with the debate. May I take this opportunity to call upon the next participant, Dhruv Gupta, to come forward and put his argument. Dhruv Gupta, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Good morning,
Dhruv
respected
Gupta.
judges and my dear friends. Today, I, Dhruv Gupta, will be speaking firmly in favor of the motion. Social media has improved the quality of life in the 21st century. Social media today encompasses all spheres of our life, from schools to colleges, startups to multi-million-dollar brands, the entertainment industry to even our personality. It has given us tools that we have been lacking until now. There is no doubt in the fact that social media has revolutionized our lives. In the last 20 years, we have seen the emergence of These digital tools that allow users to share and access content, interact with people, create awareness, and spread information. Knowledge and creativity are perhaps the biggest assets of a person, and social media helps nourish them. Social media has helped several teenagers find inspiration and gain confidence. When the pandemic hit us in 2020, the presence of social media has helped people in unimaginable ways, from staying in touch not only with family and friends, but also with the current world situation. It has helped us take steps as individuals to prevent further damage to the society. It helps create networks and communities in the absence of in-person contact. How were businesses able to operate efficiently during the pandemic? How did NGOs collect money and help people affected by coronavirus? How were people able to get blood plasma and oxygen immediately in case of an emergency? Yes, the credit goes to social media. Whether it's signing a petition for peace in Israel or for the Black Lives Matter movement, social media has helped countless people seek justice. Also, it was seen that 24% of the people who use social media use it for networking for work alone. Building your brand, endorsing your product, perhaps sharing something innovative that the world has never seen. Social media provides a platform and gives everyone an equal chance in life, irrespective of their status or sources. Stats have also shown that the increase in number of startups and new ideas that have emerged is exponential in the past 10 years than it has ever been before. Companies now do not have to pay lakhs of rupees to display a 15-second advertisement on TV. They can quite freely share content and help build a reputation using social media. To quote David Amerland, a famous British writer, I would say social media is addictive because it gives something that the real world lacks in. It gives us immediacy, direction, and value as an individual. To enjoy the positive side, we need to be selective with who you choose to follow and engage with. For the endless possibilities and advantages that we find using social media, we find negligible disadvantages to oppose this era of advancement. Hence, to conclude my argument with sufficient evidence and points, I would say that not only I, but several top creative minds believe that social media has definitely improved the quality of life in the 21st century. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhruv, for giving your perspective. I hope you're ready for the rebuttal.
Yes,
Can we have fellow participants raise their hands?
Can we have some more hands up, please? The same students are asking questions again and again.
As Nishi asked before?
Dishita has, yes.
Nishi, yeah.
May I?
Janki, are you asking about Dishita or Nishi? I don't see any hand raised. I think, yeah, let's proceed because there are only 3 hands here. Dishita.
We have to proceed. Huh?
Yes.
Thank you for the recognition. My dear worthy opponent, I have a question for you. We all know that cases of serious injuries and even death is on the rise while taking selfies to post on social networking sites. Don't you think that social media is making the youth more self-obsessive and sometimes even putting their own life in jeopardy?
Okay, the question was terrific, and to answer this, I would like to say that no, social media does not make a person self-obsessive. It actually provides a much wider perspective of the world. As I said, it is used to spread information and convey ideas of others. It also helps people seek justice, and thus it does not make us self-obsessive, but helps us cater to the needs of the society and the community in general.
Thank you, Dhruv. Over to you, Manisha ma'am.
Thank you, Prof. Ma'am. I would now like to invite our next speaker, Radha Kalantri. Radha, I hope you're there with us. Radha is speaking against the motion. Radha, all the very best.
Good afternoon to one and all present. Today, I am going to present my arguments against the motion. Many of my friends here have said that social media brings the world closer. However, I disagree. Social media has taken away our near and dear ones. While maintaining a virtual social image, we have forgotten to connect with our immediate family and friends. Often we have noticed at social gatherings and at public places, people are buried in their phones, unaware of what's happening around them. Is this socializing? Social media has negatively impacted our physical, mental, intellectual, and emotional well-being. We spend so much time on social media that we have made our lifestyle sedentary and have cut down on physical exertion at all. Doctors directly link obesity and eyesight-related issues to social media. Many people post everything on social media, what they eat, what they wear, where they visit, and such beautiful, priceless moments are just posted on social media, which opens gates for judgment and scrutiny. Cyberbullying is a major threat with the advent of social media. This negativity brings anxiety, depression, and in worst cases, even suicidal thoughts. People have this constant fear of missing out, what we call as FOMO. Many teenagers are especially affected by this. They lack on concentration, on creativity, and on their unique individuality and personality. Since it's a virtual platform, many people post anything and everything without conscious thought or verification. This leads to a lot of fake news and lots of baseless rumors. It creates mass confusion and misunderstanding. People often try to portray a larger than life, a more glorious version of themselves on the social media platform. Many people have risked and even lost their lives trying to capture their just perfect self. Now, this image of a perfect life, perfect figure, or perfect relationship often makes people compare themselves and brings a lot of insecurity and negativity. Remember the last time you actually called up your family member or friend on an achievement? No, you simply posted a thumbs up or a smiley. Does an emoji actually make you connect with your near and dear ones? No, but with the social media, people have stopped portraying their emotions. They simply use these emojis and smileys and claim to connect with their near and dear ones. This is not true. So I believe instead of living in this fake virtual image, let us form a deep connect with our family and friends. Instead of spending time on the sofa, let's go out and spend time in the lap of nature. Instead of living in this fake and virtual living world, which we can't even touch and feel, let's live in the reality, in the here and now. Thank you.
Thank you, Radha. You really gave us a lot of food for thought out there. So we move on to the rebuttal round, and let's see which participant has a question for you there.
Harsh. Harsh has not
Yes,
spoken.
ma'am.
Yes.
Many of my fellow debaters have raised this query that people are getting engaged in social media and they're getting addicted to it. But my question is that self-control of a person is not controlled by the app. It's in the person's hand when to use the app and when not to. Thank you.
That was a very good question. social media is a platform which actually gets you connected. You might be saying that apps don't want you to get addicted. They are not telling you to, but indirectly they are. Have you ever noticed that on many Facebook sites and Twitter, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you get these kind of notifications and you get different types of advertisements and all such places where you click and they connect you to things more. This often leads to addiction. So, and it often makes people lose their control. Also, social media is used by a lot of people of various age groups, some which are not capable of self-control. So this is why social media harms them as well.
Thank you, Radha.
May I invite upon the next speaker now, Taha Anik. Taha Anik. Taha, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. Over to you, Taha.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we know about the debate competition about the social media, so I am presenting my opinions and ideas about the form of the social media. What is social media? A human being is a social animal. It needs to be socialized. And what does the media mean? Media means the transformation of an information. So social and media. If we combine them, we get social media. So social media as an internet-based form of communication. Social media allows users to have conversation, have information, and create web contents and web pages. There are many forms of social media, including blogs, wikis, microblogs, social networking, photo sharing sites, video sharing sites, and virtual worlds, and more. So now moving forward to the benefits of the using of social media. Billions of people around the world use social media to share information and make connections. On a personal level, social media allows you to communicate with friends and family, learn new things, develop your interests, and to be entertained. On a professional level, you can use social media by connecting with other professionals in your industries. At the company level, social media allows you to have a conversation with your audience, gain customer feedback, and elevate your brand. In 1933, Shah Rukh Khan, a great Indian actor in the movie Bazigar, he किताबें बहुत सी पढ़ी होगी तुमने मगर कोई चेहरा भी तुमने पढ़ा है. No one knew that after 10 years, Mark Zuckerberg would launch an app called Facebook, a face to be read as a book. Social media for us students now is all about staying connected, times with friends and colleagues. Just imagine a world without social media. What about work from home? What about online gaming? And most of important, what about online schooling? All our arguments aside, judges, with all due respect, please tell me how it would be possible in this lockdown to conduct online debates and speeches competition. How would it be possible to remain connected with us all? Now, the main points about the benefits of the social media. First of all, relations. Two people met online and they chit chat, and they build a good, nice relationship without comparing their looks, money, and positions. And leaving aside the love life, we could easily meet our grandmothers, our grandparents, easily our family members and friends. Now the second point, sharing. If I have a good talent in cooking, I can show cooking videos on Instagram online to get views, followers, likes, and comments. Knowing all, the third point. By Instagram and Facebook, we can know everything. A person sitting in a part of a country tells that there is a sale on this particular accessory or clothes. I can easily get to know that there is a particular sale on this accessory or clothing. Education. By online classrooms, we can easily get education by online. Stay connected. We can easily call anyone or video call anyone or our grandmothers or parents or friends for their information and global platform. If I have an interest to if I have interest in my business, I can show it to the whole world by sending it online. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Taha, for sharing those relevant examples. We could obviously relate to all of them. Taha, can we have your video switching on?
Yes,
Yeah. You're ready for the rebuttal, Taha?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. Participants, over to you for the rebuttal. Participants are requested to raise their hands. I can see only one.
All right, I think, Janki, can we ask Shaila to proceed?
Am I audible?
Yeah, we can.
Yes,
Shaila, you are audible, but I think you also need to switch on your video.
Yes, ma'am. Now?
Yes, proceed.
Yes. So as you said that online classrooms help us to get knowledge and to stay connected. I wanted to ask that how does it allow us to stay connected if we are not in present with the teachers offline? Like the teacher can pay personal attention even on us when we are offline, but not in online classes.
That's a really nice question. Thank you. Google Classrooms can easily operate any meetings we want, but it could easily operate any meetings with our friends. Like if there is not a teacher, our friend could host the classroom and we could all friends join in.
Taha, have you completed your answer? Would you like to continue?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you, Taha. Manisha, miss, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Jofi ma'am. So our debate has come a long way. So let's invite our next speaker, Tahar Babat. Tahar, good afternoon. I hope you're there. Tahar?
Yes.
Tahar, good afternoon. The microphone is all yours.
Yes.
But I'm unable to see you, Tahar.
Am I visible?
We can see Tahar.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Tahar, please go ahead.
As my pen said well, but a coin has two sides. As advantages, the social media has also disadvantages. So, what is social media? So, if man is a social animal, he can communicate with people without social media. It doesn't mean that you have to use social media. If people meet face to face and communicate with making an eye contact with the loved ones, he will feel secure. While the people in social media manipulate your posts, your comments, and give a bad comment on that, which you can feel insecure, and it can make you feel depressed. So, what is FOMO? FOMO means fear of missing out. You have a fear of missing out. If anyone posts if anyone posts a car or travelers, it can feel you that why I don't have this much things. So it is not about that. You should also have these things. Why? It's another example that if you have a best friend on social media, you can. If you have a best friend on social media, and he suddenly stops talking with you, you will overthink that why did he stop talking with me? Why? That was a time when people used to talk and people used to stop talking. But this is a time of blocking and unblocking anyone, which hurts people very much. Some people have a feeling of loneliness, or have a feeling of anxiety, have a feeling of self-harm, and as well as have a feeling of and even suicidal thoughts. Just say Alexa and ask everything about her. But do Alexa have more experience than our grandparents? Our grandparents lived more than Google. While there are many bloggers in our country, small vloggers and big vloggers who tell every time, hello guys, welcome to my channel. They ask for some few subscribes. Why to beg anyone? Are the viewers God? You should earn money by the social media by good ways, not a bad ways. Social media can help you earn money, but by good ways. So, what is by to beg for anyone to subscribe? While social media agreed is the most important connection in today's world, but our young generation, it seems, cannot survive without social media. I agree to using WhatsApp, Instagram, and as well as Twitter and Facebook. But please, friends, tell me that if God forbids, if you fall ill, how many virtual friends will come to you and sit by your side? What about the negative and the haters? And what about the frauds that happen day by day? I end with one last statement. I will agree all social media if only I can get answer for one thing. Alexa, I'm feeling depressed. Please give me a hug. Alexa, I'm feeling thirsty. Please give me a glass of water. Alexa, I'm feverish. Please sit by my side and put a hand on my head. If not, then why it is to feel social media is more necessary than a physical touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Tahir. Now that was an argument, conveyed with a lot of feeling. That was great, Tahir. So let's move on to your rebuttal question here. We have participants raising their hands.
Yes.
We have some new hands now, so that's a good sign. Heaven Shah has not asked a question yet, so you may proceed.
Yes, Tahir, my dear friend, you said that when someone does bad comments to a post, you feel depressed. But when someone comments good on your post, you also feel it motivates us for our new content.
Well, question is asked perfectly, but there are thousands of people that comment thousands of things, and mostly the people want you to give a good comment, and mostly the people want that you post a new thing, you post a new content. But there is always 1 or 2% that want you to be down, to decrease down your level, your YouTube level, your likes and your subscribes. There are not everyone good thinking about you good. There are always someone who say about you bad. It's not a problem that if someone do not say bad things about you, it means you are doing something bad. And if someone says a good thing about you, it means you are doing something. Sorry. If someone says something good thing about you, it doesn't mean you are doing good. And if someone says bad thing about you, it doesn't mean you are doing bad. Be motivated and do something well. Thank you.
Thank you, Tahir. Thank you, Heaven. Over to you, Jofi ma'am. It's all yours.
Thank you, Manisha ma'am. Moving ahead with the debate, may I invite the next speaker for the day, Ismail Karwa, who will be speaking for the motion. Ismail Karwa, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, over to you, Ismail.
Good afternoon, Chair. I'm Ismail Karwa, and I like to speak for the motion. The time has changed in 21st century, where social media is considered to be the most important activity that helps to gain more experience. It is due to the regular increase in internet users all over the world, which has further increased the rate from millions to billions in terms of internet usage for operating social media. There are various different forms of social media network, including Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc., that allows the users, whether be people or organization, to stay updated and connected. Each of these networking platforms follows a general base for customers. For instance, Snapchat is mostly used by young generation, LinkedIn is mostly used by business professionals, but all of them help in attracting a large amount of customers and consumers. Due to these networks, it has become the first information that the user consumes after waking up and before sleeping. It helps in the fulfillment of micro moments of our day-to-day lives. Nowadays, it has become easier from the overall development perspective to create any kind of movement and discover various ways for the sustainable, positive, and resourceful communication outcomes to be utilized in a better way and effective way. Social media in recent days has developed activism in the society. A research has been conducted on the active users of the social media and found 1.23 billion of users that actively participate in the large amount of social media usage in all platforms. With all these social media activities by the user, it has created huge impact on daily lives of the people. Over the past few years, Twitter and Facebook has changed the global conversation, but the communication tools of social media has changed the way meaning of living. There are certain segments of the society related to daily routine where social media creates an effect in the regular lives of people, like news source. The source of news consumption by the people has been changed in the present scenario. Like most of the people prefer to follow regular updates and stories added by their friends on social media rather than going to a hardcore news readings stand newspaper readings or online newspaper at different sites like Google News or CNN. Business startup and patent. With the increase in use of social media and starting and launching a business plan has become very easy. Social media allows people to build little money through advertising and provide them a chance to make more engagement with the people along with the business promotion. Uh, a greater influence. The present time does not allow the mainstream media to drive the influence created by public opinion. The power of social media is increasing in the media era than the famous television shows, popular newspapers, and other large media outlets that had controlled much of the attention of millions and billions of people. In conclusion, it has been observed that culture in different era changed according to time, technology, and demand of the people, but the present era has been continually changing due to large amount of influence created by this powerful platform, that is social media. On this vast planet, social media has largely engaged people by providing more and more mediums to the active users, while large media companies are not even able to communicate properly by phone or through interpersonal communication. Also, it has provided greater and effective choice on the way of living and influencing the happening around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ismail. That was just in time that you got over with your speech. The floor is open for rebuttal. Can we have students raising their hands? Janaki ma'am and Sharmishta ma'am.
I think the
Students are raising their hands, so I think we
same
can.
students.
The same too, Dishita and Shaila have been asking questions. If there is anyone else who'd also like to join in the rebuttal. The others, other participants, are they all there?
I think it's also important participants to frame questions based, that means you're listening, and your logical faculties are in place, and that's why it is very important to ask the question. So I would request many participants to join and ask questions.
Maybe Darshan can go ahead right now with this particular rebuttal.
Yeah, I think so. Go ahead.
Thank you for the recognition. So, dear opponent, you said that social media is having a great influence on people. So, do you think it is really good? Because influence of anything, not only social media, anything can be really harmful for anyone.
Everything has its two sides. Everything has its two sides, as it could be good and bad. So sometimes the influence is good, but it depends on the self-control of the own people to know that the influence is good or bad.
Thank you, Ismail. Manisha ma'am, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Jofri ma'am. So before I actually call our next participant, our speaker, to come and voice his thoughts, I would request all those in the opponent team to please be ready with rebuttal questions. That's what makes a debate so much more interesting, isn't it? So all of you take the initiative, because we just have another 2 rounds, I think. Take the initiative, ask questions. Okay, listen to whatever the participant is saying and accordingly frame your questions. That is also, a process of learning. Okay, moving on, we next have Pranay K. Pranay K, I just hope you're there with us. Pranay K is our next speaker, and he is speaking against the motion. Pranay K. Good afternoon, Pranay.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Honorable judges, respected teachers, worthy opponents. Today, I'm here as Ranakandulna speaking against social media. And the question comes here that we we told each and everything about social media, but we didn't compare ourselves. We are addictive to social media. Yes, we are addictive. We post Snapchat photos every second, story status, but we don't compare ourselves. Why is that? We we told each every single point, but question comes here: are we going to change? Yes, human life, human race goes increases a lot, but we don't change. There are many things that we face: addiction, fraud, scams. Well, recently I got a message about a scam. I got a link that you get a free iPhone. Well, everybody gets hyped up that yes, it's an iPhone. Why don't I just click the thing and I just use it? But even though we are well educated, we come from a well-being side, everything, yeah, still we just can't face the things, and the hunger grows, the urges to do certain things do. And we might face many things: cyberbullying. As teenagers, we post some things and people might bully us and they might hurt us, but honestly we can't take them. And during this pandemic, all we just did was scroll, save, like. Honestly, if I tell from my part, no one has remembered any of our friends. If I be honest, like we were just blank for 4 to 5 months, 4 to 5 months, and we did not remember anyone. That lacks our emotions, social skills. A couple of weeks ago, me and my friend, I got into a fight, asking her why she did not text me, assuming it would be very hard for it to tell it on my face, because they we are so scared to people that we tell each and everybody anything. And even though the social media is good, we just can't change it, and we can't convey our feelings to anyone. We are very scared, and we feel we can't even talk to anyone. And I really want to tell that, what if there's no tomorrow and you just rely on social media? Can we rely on social media each and every single day of our lives? Question goes here, and it might cause and distraction to us, but I just want to let you know that let's not rely on it a lot, and let's just do it well.
Thank you, Pranay. Pranay, I do appreciate the fact that you've used, real life examples from our own lives, to kind of fight your argument there. That was great, actually. Okay, so we'll move on with your rebuttal session here. Let's see. Oh, we have quite a few participants asking questions now. That's great.
Good. I don't know whether it's because of the instruction given earlier or it's Pranay's speech that has evoked so many questions. Let's hear.
I hope it's the latter.
I hope so too.
I hope it's the latter. The credit should go to Pranay.
Yes.
The credit
Has
should go to
Shashwat
Pranay.
spoken earlier? No, but Shashwat also belongs to against. So Palak.
Hi, I would like to ask you. Yeah, I would like to ask you that you stated that you did not have any connection with your friends for the past 4 or 5 months because of not using social media. So I don't know to what degree is that true, because I am pretty sure that most of us have had connections with our friends for the past 1.5 years.
That's a really good question, but when we were in that pandemic situation, we really did not know what was really happening. We really did not know. We were like, we did not bother actually. We were just into our room, quarantine. Did we know what's happening out? We just knew that yes, there is COVID out. We can go out. Each and everyone were quarantined, scared, and I'm honestly telling you this, that even though I did not have any connection, I never felt alone, because we had our parents, we had our own enjoyment at home, and yes, I can say that. Yes.
Thank you, Pranay. Thank you, Palak. Yes, over to Jofi, ma'am.
Let us move ahead with the next participant. May I call upon Aniket Verma, F15, to speak for the motion. Aniket Verma, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, Aniket, I can see you.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Aniket. Yes, Aniket, you're audible.
It is true that social media has improved the quality of life in 21st century. Social media has improved the quality of life in various ways. Firstly, we can talk to our relatives or friends who are far away and be united instead of being isolated. We have known the importance of social media in this lockdown situation, where we got mental relief by talking to our close ones. Secondly, many people share their skills on various social media apps, which, when observed by the respective authorities, they get their jobs and earn their livelihood, hence again improving the lifestyle. Hasn't anyone heard about the assistant coach of football of India who got that honorable post with the help of a social media application, which is Facebook? And let's move on to the third point. It helps the people to show their creativity and also teach students worldwide, thereby increasing the spread of education, which improves the quality of life as well as the future. People can track their dear ones. For example, a parent can track his son or daughter and see whether he or she is safe or not, and can take any actions if needed. Furthermore, policemen can track criminals, thereby reducing the crime rate and thus again improving the quality of life. Moreover, it can also be used for advertisement purposes, which helps both the buyers and the sellers. Buyers can easily buy a product sitting at the comfort of home. The same goes for the sellers. Sellers are able to sell their unique products to a more number of people, thereby increasing their income and improving their livelihood. Hasn't anyone heard about Amazon Karidar? If not, please check it out. With the help of social media, people can get their life partners also. There are many such people who got their life partners with the help of various social media applications. People are also able to find new friends and meet their old ones. Isn't it true that social media has been a boon for us rather than being a curse? If not, then please ask to yourself truly and see what you get your answer. And I have a question for all the people, who are against this motion and to the judges. How many social media applications do you have in your mobile phone, and how many times did you log in into your social media application since the morning? If not, then check out that how are we communicating at the moment right now. And many people said that we should stop it. The people who were against the motion, they said that we should stop using these social media applications, as it has various disadvantages, like it messes with our punctuality, and it goes on continuous to get anything. And at last, I would say that Gandhiji had said, be the change you want to see. So if you really want to to put this mindset into the people's mind that there should be no usage of social media apps, so start it yourself. And if you are able to start, then tell us. Thank you.
Thank you, Aniket. I think it was introspection for me personally. Can't imagine actually life without, these apps now, especially during the pandemic. Right. On that note, the floor is all set for the rebuttal. Ready, Aniket? Yeah. Can we have participants raising their hands?
I don't think we have heard Pranay ask a question, right?
Pranay, yes, Pranay. Go ahead.
So Aniket, you said that you can have a matrimonial site, and you can like marry from those matrimonial sites. Am I right?
Yes.
How sure are you about that?
I'm sure about that. I'm sure about that in the way that you can meet people and see more number of people, and when you see them online, you have video calls also. So after that, you can meet personally and then see. So it becomes quite a easy job, quite a easy work to easily compare and to meet your life partner who is suitable for you.
But there are many people who have fake accounts,
Sorry,
fake information.
Questions are not allowed. I'm sorry, Pranay. You will have to be restricted there.
Yeah. Let me still answer.
But that was interesting, definitely.
I already said that
Very good.
after meeting, first of all, you have the video calls. Then after that, if you also have any doubt, then you can go personally. You might get the address, and you first of all, before going to that address, you can go through. Means there are various applications, and you can consult the police also if you find something fishy.
Thank you, Aniket, for that quick answer. I hope it really helps you out in the future. Okay, so on that note, over to you, Manisha ma'am.
Thank you, Jofi.
Manisha ma'am.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful to see the enthusiasm of the participants here. I mean, we've been on since 10 o'clock in the morning and they are still bubbling with so much of energy, so keen, to answer and continue with their information. So anyway, moving on, I would now like to call Darshan Bajeja. Darshan, are you there with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Darshan Bajeja, I think. Oh,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
great. That's great. Okay, Darshan, the microphone is all yours.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
you can create your magic now.
Thank you, ma'am. So people are using social media very heavily, and I think first we need to understand the meaning of social media. As a computer programmer myself, I think I'm the right person to tell you what is social media, because I heard so many people saying that YouTube is social media, Google is social media. Now, obviously, everyone has their own opinion, but I believe that actually in the computer world, what you consider social media or social networking app is that it is an app where you can connect with people in real time. And if this was to be written down by me, I would have put the word real time in double quotation marks, because it is the really important word here. If you're not connecting to people in real time, you cannot call that app as social media. Now, it is used so heavily that today people are not messaging each other, they are WhatsApping each other. They do not talk on video calls, they actually WhatsApp call each other. Nowadays, cyberbullying has converted to social media bullying. I hope you get my point. Like the brand equity that has been created by social media in the market, right? Now people can share their so-called status. Now status actually means what they are actually doing, what is their condition. But people would share photos and quotes and all in status. They don't understand the real use of that. The number of likes gained by them on Instagram actually decide how good they are, instead of their actual skills. So we need to actually discuss this thing that we are doing in a big part of our day, that too each and every day, hours and hours we are spending in this, but we don't know, is this really good for us, is it correct for us? So we need to know how is it impacting us. The main thing I would point out is just for the interest of some people, like many of them said that many people's business grew up because of social media. But what about the people, those who are getting harmed just for their interest, those who are actually profiting from social media? What about the people who are actually harmed? So they should be harmed continuously, is it? No, it's not the right idea. Right now social media is so bad that actually most of them took my points that social media can actually not connect people and all. It cannot give you some exercise and all those points are already taken, but it is so harmful that I've got some more points for you, and this is just a short list of points. So the first thing I would like to say that people are able to track you. Now this can be considered a boon, this can be considered a bane as well, right? But some people might say that who is asking you to put your photos on social media if you don't want to be if you want your privacy, why should you even post your photos on social media? And that argument is correct. But even if you are installing your apps and if you just allow the app to actually get your GPS location, it can easily track you. And if you don't want them to track you, you have to disagree. But even if you just want to try out the app, you don't want to use it regularly, it will actually track you then also. Then the next thing, that the spams are really demotivating, because there can be bots created very easily which can actually dislike your videos and dislike all of the photos you are posting on the net, and you are getting demotivated. This can give you mental stress. And what if the project is stopped? If Instagram stops, then your business will also stop if it is running on Instagram. So that's why social media is not a good place to work on.
Yes, Darshan, please conclude your argument.
Yes.
Though Darshan has
exceeded the time
limit, but you may please continue.
Yes, I'm sure the judges have noted that down. So please continue and conclude.
Yes, ma'am, done. I've concluded already.
You have concluded? Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
your short list of points was not very short actually. Yes, Darshan? Not
Yes,
very short there. But anyway, let's move to your rebuttal round, Darshan. I think the judges are now spoiled for choice.
Oh
Because we are
yes,
having quite a
I'm
few
glad.
participants.
I'm glad we are. Arohi, have you asked a question before, Arohi?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
I think so have the others. Harsh and Adit and all of them have got a chance before to ask questions. So shall we go to Girish?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. May I?
Yes, go ahead, please.
So, first of all, before starting my this question, I would like to say a Shakespeare's quote. It says that a place is not good or bad. A place is not good or bad, but it depends how the people use them. So, my question to all, not only Darshan, but all, that you are saying the disadvantage, the problems created by people. There is no mistake of social media apps. At least we should spread an awareness to how to use a social media app, how not to get into this controversies, and how to not get leak our publicity to others. So it's not fault of social media apps, but it is fault of people who are using it very irresponsibly.
Okay, so what is your question exactly then?
Yes, Girish.
My actual question is to you, that it is right to blame social media instead of blaming the people.
Yes, obviously, because if you give anything to people, it's people's thing, right? So they will use however they want. So there shouldn't be some things, or there should be some checks that people are using properly. If the people are giving social media ads to other people to use, they should also put some checks that they are not using it irresponsibly, instead of just giving them that. Because if people get any chance, they are going to use it.
But Instagram
No,
supports
no counter questioning. Only one question, please. All right, thank you, Darshan. Thank you, Girish. Moving to Jofi ma'am now, once again. Jofi ma'am.
So we are almost coming to the fathom end of the participants debating. May I call upon Hitarth Gohil, who will be speaking for the motion. Hitarth, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, over to you. The floor is all yours, Hitarth.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, respected judges, teachers, and all my worthy opponents. I am Hitarth Gohil, and I'm speaking for the motion that social media has improved the quality of life in 21st century. As David Alston said in his quote that social media is not a media. The key is to listen, engage, and build relationships. The greatest advantage of social media is connectivity. People from anywhere can connect with anyone regardless of the location. The beauty of social media is that you can associate with anyone to learn and share your thoughts. For example, through Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, people can connect with their long lost family and friends. Another boon of social media is in the field of education. Social media has a lot of benefits for the students and the teachers. It is very easy to learn from experts and professionals via the social media. For example, in the pandemic, students could not go to schools for studying. And in such a situation, through social media apps like Zoom, Google Meet, and Google Duo, students could connect with their teachers to gain knowledge. Moving on to information and updates. The main advantage of social media is that you can update yourself from the latest things happening around the world. Most of the time, with the help of social media, you can get the facts and true information by doing some research. One massive benefit that social media offers is promotion. Whether you have an offline or online business, you can promote your business to the largest audience. The whole world is open for you and you can promote to them. This makes the business profitable and less expensive because most of the expenses made over a business are for advertising and promotion. This can be decreased by constantly and regularly involving on the social media to connect with the right audience. For example, sites like Just Dial and India Mart have helped budding entrepreneurs and small businesses to expand their business and provide their products. The best part of social media is noble cause. Social media can also be used for noble cause and good things. People are using social media for donation to the needy, and it can be a quick way to help such people. For example, thanks to crowdfunding site Impact Guru, 2.6 lakh people donated money to pay for 16 crores in just 42 days. And little Therio got her one-time injection for her unusual genetic disease. And lastly, awareness. Social media also creates awareness and innovate the way people live. It is the social media which has helped people discover new and innovative stuff that can enhance personal lives. The biggest contribution that social media has made is in bringing lifestyle changes in people all over the world. People can access things that provide them good information. Therefore, I strongly believe and conclude by saying that social media has improved the quality of life in 21st century by providing things like best yoga class, support groups for depression, money management, and many such aspects which were out of reach earlier. Thank you.
Thank you, Hitarth, for giving a plethora of examples again and giving us an insight to which we could obviously relate to. So, Hitarth, the floor is all open for the rebuttal. Can I have participants raise their hands?
I guess Gopani has not spoken earlier, has not asked a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Nishi, isn't it? Huh?
Nishi.
Ma'am, my question is that he said that people have donated money. So how do you know the money is going in the right hands? I mean, like.
Well, this is because it has been proved through sites, and even the newspaper has said about it. And therefore, the newspapers on and all these sites cannot be wrong, obviously. So therefore, I conclude that this is right, that 16 crores have been donated to Therio for her injection. Thank you.
Thank you, Hitarth. Manisha, miss?
Yes, thank you so much, Rufi ma'am. So, I think we've reached just the end of our debate competition. We just have one more participant remaining. And let us invite the last speaker for today's debate, Yashvi Darji. Yashvi, I hope you're there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Yashvi, good afternoon and all the very best.
Thank you. Good afternoon, respected judges, my fellow competitors, and dear teachers. My name is Yashvi Darji, and I am going to be speaking against the motion. Focus on how to be social, not how to do social. As we all know, social media is now a very major part of our lives. Many people believe it to be a boon, but is it not a curse in disguise? Social media has trapped us inside invisible walls. It is like a zoo where we are closely monitored and everything we say or do can be misused against us. Children too nowadays get easily distracted from their studies because they are constantly worried about what other people think about them on the internet, though they are people whom they have never seen or never talked to. Yet their negative comments do make them self-conscious. On the other hand, there are also numerous people who falsely represent their lives. They pretend to be happy, while in reality, they are anything but otherwise. A lot of things is going on in their life. This too puts a lot of pressure on them, and they believe that people will criticize them for not being able to be happy, which leads to them bottling up their emotions as they believe that they will be judged if they speak their mind. This results in low self-esteem and affects their normal life, which can also lead to some people committing suicide. On the other hand, we see today a lot of people are spreading false messages on social media about the current pandemic or the political affairs and warfare, which mostly others do believe and then get caught in a web of lies, which disables them to believe in what is the truth and what is wrong. They cannot think rationally. They do not know what to believe in anymore. On the other hand, there are also parents which have great difficulty in monitoring their child's online activity. And as we all know, children can easily get manipulated. They can easily go into bad company, which results in the spoiling of the relationship with their parents, and then they indulge in wrongdoings and sometimes also indulge in life-threatening situations, like, for example, sometimes stunts, drugs, and parties, which not only affect their health, but do also affect their future. And so I would like to conclude by saying that social media has, of course, had tremendous effects on our life, but has also led to various mental health issues, riots, a lot of growing hatred towards each other, and of course, violence. Thank you.
Thank you, Yashvi. That was an insightful argument. Thank you so much. So let's wait for your rebuttal questions to come up. Now, the opponents, yes, this is your last chance actually to throw challenges at the other side. So all the opposing participants, please raise your hands with precise and specific questions.
Has Sakshi spoken yet? Yeah. Sakshi, are you there? Do you want to ask?
Yes, ma'am.
Sakshi, could you keep your camera switched on, please?
Yeah, please.
So, can you please elaborate how self-esteem is harmed because of social media?
I mean, when, like, for example, when you post, for example, you are posting something on social media, and then if someone does not really appreciate your work, then of course you are really going to feel down, and you can't, it'll take you a lot of time to get back your confidence.
Thank you, Yashvi. That was a great way of tackling that question there. So I think we've reached the end of the debate. Hetal ma'am, if you're there.
Yes, good afternoon once again, everyone. It was indeed a very interesting session to sit through, young minds putting forward their perspectives and having a healthy exchange of introspective thoughts with a lot of enthusiasm and positivity. So we shall now announce a break of 30 minutes. Well, rather, I would say 40 minutes, and return at 2:30 p.m. In the meanwhile, the judges are going to tabulate the results. So we request all the participants and the teacher in charges to log in at 2:30 p.m. for the announcement of the winners of the debate competition, and also to get some valuable inputs from the judges. Thank you, everyone. We shall meet again at 2:30 p.m.